Alright, it's time. Another week. ZTGD Radio. This is episode 814. September 30th, 2024. Fall is officially here. And on the show this week we have Anthony.
Yeah, and it's delivered me a cold already.
Well, this is because you got a weak immune system.
No, it's because I went to a concert.
Well,
You don't realize how little you've done that probably since COVID.
And then you just join thousands of people like, oh, I'll be fine.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, won't be making that mistake again. Holy shit.
See, the older you get, you start realizing that you're like, I could go see this sporting event, or I could stay healthy. We also have Terrence.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? I just got done Afro engineering some things, so I had some electricity to use, so I could join y'all today.
So what kind of setup you got going on? You got a hamster and a wheel or something?
Listen, it is a hamster and a wheel, and I have my cat who is basically forcing the hamster to run, by threat of eating it. And then there's some wires running. It's crazy in here. It's like a giant game of mouse. Exactly. Yeah, it's about like that. It's
cool.
About like that.
Milk crate with a
and
power
there's a
supply.
stack of CDs. Holy crap! Yeah, there's a stack of CDs.
It's right a computer. There. Yeah, I may have looked up the term you used earlier. Just
did you really just Google? You're on a list now. Just so you know.
Oh yeah. That's what puts me on the list. They're not watching white supremacists. Come on now.
Elon,
I'm searching hentai every fucking week for you guys.
Elmo's
already on the list.
Elmo's ex found nothing wrong with your post. Just so you know.
Right. Like that's correct. That is some engineering right there too. That is a whole ass computer.
Yeah,
that's
why not?
Wild.
See that bottom picture right there? That's some shit I would have done back in the day.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, so I hands-free, my hands-free rubber band. Yeah.
I mean, pre-Bluetooth.
Yeah.
If it works, it ain't stupid.
Exactly. Although, you see that, okay, so this is the little clip on the end of it, like an old man clip, that reminds me of my dad's glasses case. Like that is just immediately, that's what came to my brain. I was like, man, I remember his glass, because he'd stick out this front pocket,
Yep.
And we also have the Wombat. I said, if we'll get there.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
Right? He's like, I'm just happy to be part of the show, guys.
Just happy y'all let me swim in your sea.
Well, that sounds suggestive. I don't know.
Only if you make it that way.
I did.
Oh man!
All right.
You gotta say no Diddy when you say stuff like that. No Diddy now. Like,
I don't know.
Costco would like everyone to know that they do not sell baby oil. Thank you very much.
I mean, they immediately came out and clarified that.
Well, wouldn't you?
I missed that. What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
his manager said that the only reason he had all the baby oil was because he goes to Costco and buys it in bulk.
And Costco
was like, oh hell no, he does not.
There's not a single store across the U.S. that sells baby oil.
That's awesome.
If he wants to come here and buy a $1.50 hot dog meal, he can. He's gonna have to buy his baby oil somewhere else.
But he's gonna have to eat outside too.
Right.
Man, there's a lot of jokes that write themselves about Diddy, Costco, bringing the boom, baby oil.
Many. Oh man. Oh god.
I still don't understand why those people are famous.
Listen.
Exploit my children and a big cookie and whatever.
Somebody exploiting a big cookie? Is that what I just
heard? Did you ever seen the Costco videos, the bringing the boom shit?
Oh, yeah, those people. Yeah, the Rizzler.
Is that what?
That's one of their names, yeah, the Rizzler, yeah.
Oh,
is that
shit.
the dad with his kid?
Yeah, well, he's got two kids and a wife, and then they have the Rizzler. That's not even their kid, is it?
I don't think so.
The Rizzler is not their kid?
What is, okay,
There's the Rizzler. I just posted the Rizzler.
Yeah.
I'm listen. Oh, come on. I was going to say I shouldn't make fun of children, but that's still within my character anyways. So, what is it with that kid just looking American?
Well,
man.
If you were like, draw an American family, that's the child that I would draw.
Well, it's not the divots in his knuckles, is it? Because that's just.
Oh man, the Rizzler, like, oh,
he just looks like
here you go, Anthony.
Oh, don't watch.
Yeah,
oh.
that's them. Yeah, that's them. That's the guy I was thinking of.
Yeah.
It's the triple chunk chocolate cookie.
We bring the boom. You ever watch them dance? Like they do the same dance move between all four of them. It takes like 40 seconds to run through the whole shit.
If I put on a pair of sunglasses and they looked like aliens, I would totally understand and not be surprised.
How many hashtags can you fit in a post?
Just say hashtag consume, hashtag
right.
consume.
Dude, look at it. Hashtag boom. Father, hashtag son, hashtag cookie, hashtag boom.
Jesus Christ.
This generation is cooked. It's just cooked.
Man, you ain't never lied.
I enjoy when people post on Twitter, it's always the boomers versus the millennials. I'm like, we just got forgotten, and I'm okay with that. Nobody talks about Gen X. I'm just sitting over here and be quiet.
I am, I think, technically by definition a millennial.
I am too.
Because I think it starts in 1981, and I was born in 1981.
It's 80.
I'm a millennial.
It's 80.
Oh, is it 80?
Because I miss it. I miss it by a month. But you know what? I'll take it.
Wow. Nice.
I'll take it. Be Gen X. Oh, I was born in the 70s. That's right, kids. There was a 70s. Jesus Christ. I think about it. My son and I watched Event Horizon last night. I was like, Jesus Christ, this movie's 30 years old.
Oh, man. That movie's so, like, it's good, but that movie's fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah. We got, like, he's fine through the whole movie. And we get to the part at the end where, like, the dude guts the dude. He's like, what was that? I was like, yeah. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Captain Miller has some problems down here. Oh, man. Yeah, that movie, yeah, it's a good movie.
Where we're going, you don't need eyes.
Oh, God.
Anyway, this is a show about video games. I don't know if you knew when you tuned in.
It is. It's like, man, I don't know.
Oh, all right. Let's kick it off. Anthony, you wanna kick it off?
I'll start with someone else and blow my nose.
Okay, Terrence, you wanna?
Yes. I will start. I've had a crazy week. I haven't played a whole lot of stuff. Let's see. So I did play a little bit more of Warhammer. Hold on, let me pull up my review list because I feel like, did I drop a review that I can talk about?
When you say Warhammer, I'm assuming you're talking Space Marine?
Yeah, Space Marine too.
Space Marine.
Nice.
Take more than that to kill an orc.
Space.
Lord. I played some, what, is that coming through?
Is what coming through? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, good. Fantastic. Because my wife is like doing something in our bedroom and I hear lots of bangs. I think
don't worry. We'll hear your
Wow. Okay. That was, you know what the fuck I meant? Shut up. She's down there hanging a picture or some shit. Like, you know what?
Okay. We hear your laundry end sometimes. So.
Oh, nice. Well, see, I'm not even down in the basement anymore because we switched stuff. That's why.
Yeah,
it goes off.
Hold on, let me finish.
Yeah, it's not even done. Yep.
That's the exact sound my dishwasher makes.
Oh, you got a Samsung? Is that what that is? Yep. Yeah.
We got a Samsung.
Yeah.
I don't have a Samsung. Mine makes a noise too, but I don't remember what it is. Like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Why does it have to be so like why can't you just and be done? Like, why does it have to play a whole beat that you can dance to?
Well,
like,
I'm sorry that you bought the one that's yeah.
The Samsung stuff, man. I don't know what it is. They got that whole friggin' sonata that they want you to sit through to tell you that your dishes are complete.
That's wild that the dishwasher does it too.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
Man, it's a weird world. Like we just bought like one of those like Ring camera things, like my phone will blow up, like somebody's at the door.
Yep, mine does that, and you can go in there and tweak it because that shit gets on your nerves. Like I'm like, damn, a car drives by because our house like sits like high, so it's like pointing at the street. So like a car drives by, it's like, think someone's at the door. I'm like, no, they're fucking not. It was a car. Like but yeah, I do like the ring stuff, but yeah, it goes crazy. All right, listen,
Video games.
Trials of Mana. Right, I played Trials of Mana, which is on Game Pass now because I hadn't got a chance to play that outside of the
that's not the
fan translation, huh?
That's the 3D remake of
3
game, right? Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Is that the same one they did the? Oh, sorry, Anthony. Go ahead.
I just bought the newest one, Visions.
Oh, Visions of Mana? Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted a physical copy, and it was on sale, so I was like, well...
It's pronounced Mana.
I don't give a shit. Blame it on
What's the one they had the demo for on Switch somewhat recently?
That's the new one, right? Visions?
No, Visions isn't on Switch.
Oh.
Visions isn't on Switch? Really?
No.
A Mana game on Xbox, but not Switch? What are we doing?
Well, no. Visions is the newest one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is on Xbox.
It is on Xbox, because I played it there.
Yeah, it's not on Switch.
Let me look at it. I'll tell you which one it was.
With this, you could definitely tell that this is the professional Mana podcast. I just want you to know.
Right.
Trials, I believe, is the one that the remake is on Switch.
It might have been Trials that they put
Trials and Mana is the one that I played the demo of on Switch.
Yeah,
that game's on Switch twice. The remake, and it's included in the Mana collection, which has the Game Boy game that was Final Fantasy whatever Adventure or Legend. Legend is the RPG. Adventure, and then it's got Secret, and then the last one was translated, the last Super Nintendo game.
I enjoyed the demo when I played that on Switch, so now that it's on Xbox, I might check it out again.
It's on Game Pass.
It's good. I played it years ago, emulated through a fan translation on the Super Nintendo because it did, like Anthony said, it didn't come to stateside originally. But yeah, it's kind of funny because I can still remember, bits and pieces of the playthrough, but seeing like the stuff translated into 3D, like the dancing merchants and stuff like that, which is like a Mana series staple, is kind of cool because like my wife came in, she's like, "What the hell? What is he getting down for?" I was like, "That's what they do. They happy to serve."
I mean,
like,
don't be mad. He's just getting down.
He just happy to serve.
But they've updated it and he's flossing.
Is that what?
They're doing Fortnite dances.
Oh, Lord,
that's all Astrobot does is fucking Fortnite dances.
Wow, what a good way to not sell me on that game. Oh, I want to play that game, and you're like, they were just Fortnite dances. Well, I'm out.
Damn.
If I wanted to see Fortnite dances, I can just go anywhere where there's young kids around, and they'll just do that as they beat each other up.
I don't think you should go where just young kids are by yourself.
No, I don't think you should either.
No.
I didn't have a good. I was gonna say some event, but then I'm like, I don't know what kids are into.
Well, listen, look, I have kids to spare, man. I can loan you one.
I'm good.
I'm gonna do a rental kid service. Where you need
don't
to like
clip that.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
No, listen, because I read a thing about this, and an article.
Okay, hold on now.
Family.
If anybody's on a list.
Oh my God! Well, look, anyway, some politician.
You're right, though. Yeah,
had some fake family or whatever.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's his neighbors. Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, like what the hell?
JD Vance is renting a dog.
His fucking show wife.
Yeah,
JD Vance admitted to renting a dog. No, trust me. The dog isn't making you look more like a person. Just take off the flesh suit already and show that you're just a pile of cockroaches.
Yeah, JD Vance, man, he stayed getting dunked on. But okay,
hold on. Can I just say, does he not remind you of the villain from Men in Black?
Yes, old Edgar.
Sugar water.
You don't matter. In fact, in a couple of minutes, you won't even be matter.
Oh man. But yeah, okay, so I played that. Yeah. I downloaded. I didn't get to play it, but they also put the We Love Katamari on Battle Pass. Jesus Christ. On Game
the Battle Pass.
Yeah, but I haven't got a chance to play it yet. I downloaded and played that All You Need Is Help.
Before? ever?
I've never played this one, I don't think, but I mean, I've played like Katamari. I think the last Katamari game I played was probably on the PlayStation 2. Like, I think I played like all of those.
So you played, so there's 2 on the PS2, and We Love Katamari was the sequel.
Okay.
Then I think personally, it's the best game in the series.
I liked it. So, is this a remake? Is that? It says like it's a battle royale. Like, does this get multiplayer?
Royale. I mean, it does have multiplayer, but I don't think there's going to be a ton of people playing.
It's a battle royale of Katamari. Let's fucking go.
That'd be crazy.
I mean, you know what? Out of all the ideas for a battle royale, 100 princes dropped with their Katamari and having to roll each other up is not the worst idea ever.
So, I guess you could make that work.
Yeah, sure. Huh. You should drop 100 Nobi boys and just fucking let them tangle.
No.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna play that at some point. All you need is help. So I saw
fuck me.
Did you play this game?
I did. I hate this game.
So I wanted to like it because like I remember seeing it at one of the shows and like the concept was dope. Like I was like, oh, okay, you little pieces and you got to work together to fit and like you whatever. I didn't realize that there was like no single player component. Like I couldn't even figure out how to get into like because I thought it had online multiplayer too. Like and I don't know. I don't know. I played I guess the tutorial part, but never really got into the game.
That's all I needed to play because as soon as you walk out, when all 4 of them show up and your piece goes, help, I need somebody, and they all start singing, I was like, man,
yeah.
fuck this. This
funny.
shit is just...
I've never even heard of this game.
It's from the Pixel guys, the Pixel Junk guys.
It just got announced at the...
TGS.
TGS, and then it was available immediately.
I think they showed it before TGS because I had heard of it before TGS.
I've never heard of this game before.
Maybe it was a Nintendo show. Is it on Switch?
I don't know what this game is on. It's on Game Pass, which is the only reason I played it.
No, it's not on Switch.
Okay.
It is. Sorry, sorry. I thought of it. Yeah, no, I do.
I've seen it somewhere before, but I've only seen it one time. So I didn't think I saw it at the TGS stuff, but. Like, I was interested enough because I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Like, I like the little puzzle games and shit. But yeah, I couldn't even figure out, and that's weird, Anthony, because I feel like you probably would, like, dig it. But yeah, I don't...
Pixel Junk people, I hate to say it, I've not really cared for any of their games.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're listen, it's one of those, it's not a criticism of them. I think I liked Pixel Junk Shooter, and that was kind of it. I don't really like Monsters. There's been a couple other ones, and I'm just I wasn't a huge fan. So if it's them, I'm probably out.
I got you. Well, I mean, listen, you should be out anyway.
You should be out anyway. It's not
or whatever. I don't even know. Like it's like like you said, I played the little tutorial, and then you get to like I guess it's the main menu, and there's like 4 pins, and it's like you press A, and then it's like well the other place somebody else has to press A to start. I'm like, well, motherfucker, it's just me. Like I ain't got nobody else. Like, can we move along?
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of one of those British children's shows.
Oh, yeah.
Like 100% because they talk real slow to each other and they'll sing songs together. It's just like, man, I can't. No.
I was interested just because of like the puzzle aspect and the multiplayer. So having to work together with real, cause I thought was going to be like random people online to make these different shapes or whatever. I don't know. I thought that would be kind of interesting, but yeah, fuck that game. Yeah. What else I played? I played, Beyond Galaxyland, which I put the review in for that. That's a pretty good RPG. So this is side scroller. It's a side scroller RPG. It has like some platforming elements. And it's got a fucking crazy like cast of characters. One of which is Boom Boom, which is your character's pet guinea pig. His name is hands down Boom Boom is the best fucking character in this game. Like his little story arc is fantastic, and like the story between him and Doug, which is the guy you play as, the kid you play as is really good. Like the overall story here is like Earth gets destroyed by something because, we done fucked around with something. And this species, ancient race, has built Galaxy Land, which holds like different planets, and it's like a ark basically. So they rescue a bunch of different, random people off of planets before they get destroyed, and then bring them here so that the race and everything can continue. So he's one of the random ones that get saved from Earth, and you get started off on this like orientation planet, basically with this robot who like runs you through, everything, and this basic tutorial shit, how to jump, how to fight and stuff like that. But yeah, so from there you kind of get caught up in, galactic stuff that's going on in Galaxy Land, and like each planet in Galaxy Land is its own, like race, of saved people or whatever. So it's kind of cool, seeing the different planets and species and stuff. And the story, like I said, was really good too. It's just kind of definitely sci-fi. There's some comedy there, some heartfelt stuff between like Doug and Boom Boom. Man, Boom Boom is my man. I'm telling you, like because the robot had never seen a guinea pig before, so he like was repairing them, and he's like, oh well, here I fixed your little rat creature. And he like souped him up, and so now he's like bipedal, standing, on two legs. And he's like, yeah, he should be able to talk and everything. For the first bit of the game, like he doesn't talk, but then you find out why, and then when he finally does, it's hilarious. I don't know, it was a really good game. It was a really good game, and it's a decent length too for an RPG. I feel like it was probably about maybe 15 hours. It wasn't any more than 20. And I mean, it's straight up like a turn-based, RPG, and it has like some Pokemon elements in it because you can capture the creatures and stuff that you fight against. Like before you initiate combat, you can take a picture of it. Like you hold left trigger, you like move the viewfinder over it. And you take a picture of it, which will scan it into your stuff and give you like its health bar when you're fighting it.
Wait, what game is this?
It's called Beyond Galaxy Land. And Doug has a capture mechanic where he throws a sphere, which like comes over and like teleports the little creature inside of it or whatever, and then you can summon it and use like one of its attacks for during battles and stuff. So you don't fight with it, but it like helps you. Like the one thing like buffs somebody's attack power. Another one like just comes off and does like a fire attack and stuff like that. So it doesn't like take the place of, your character like a Pokemon. It's just like an attack. But yeah, I recommend it. It's a really good game. I think I gave it like a high 8 or something like that. There was some like bugs and crashes in there. But it's really good. And the music, man, the music is great. Like I love the soundtracks in RPGs where like when you're on the overworld or, you're moving around and it's very like you hear the whole, it's like a muted kind of thing. Like the orchestra and stuff is like kind of muted sounds. But then like when you go into battle, like you get everything, like you hear all the bass and all the different instruments and stuff. Like, what's that? Fire Emblem does a really good job of that. But yeah, it was the music in this is really good too. But yeah, if you dig those type of RPGs, I feel like Anthony is looking at it. But yeah, it definitely was good. Man, I think this game is this out? Hold on, because I haven't. G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe's out on the 26th, so yes, it's out.
Okay. I haven't read the review for G.I. Joe yet.
I played it. Yeah, I played it too.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a good game. I don't know. How long did you play it?
I played through the first level and I beat. I don't remember what the boss was.
Yeah, I don't remember who that was. Like I was like, who the fuck G.I. Joe villain is this? Like,
I know I had the figure, but I didn't remember who it was.
Oh wow, yeah, I don't think I had that guy. Who'd you play as? Who'd you pick?
Snake Eyes, of course.
Nice. I'm pretty sure I was Roadblock the first. Like I tried Roadblock, and then I went back through as Snake Eyes on the second level.
Snake Eyes flies around the level like crazy, man.
Yeah. It's not good.
It's really kind of not.
Like I don't even know what to say. Like so. Dang. Yeah, because I mean, I don't think we've had a really good G.I. Joe game.
The NES game were good. The NES games were good.
Well, yeah, okay. I meant recently. I'm sorry. You're right. That was good. But like recently, like we had because we have a good like Turtles game. We've had a couple of those.
Yeah, the last G.I. Joe game was that third-person co-op game, which was not great.
Operation Blackout.
Yeah, yep. And then before that was the Wrath of Cobra on the 360 PS3.
No, Wrath of Cobra is the newest game.
Or what's the one on the 360 PS3? Thought it was Wrath of something.
The Rise of Cobra.
Rise of Cobra. Okay.
Yeah, that was a movie one.
There is another good G.I. Joe game. It's the Konami arcade game. That game's good.
I don't think I remember that.
Fun fact: between Rise of Cobra, the release of Rise of Cobra and the arcade game, there's nothing. So it literally was the arcade game and then Rise of Cobra on the PS2, PS3,
wow,
360, mobile phone, DS, and PlayStation Portable.
Fun fact: Rise of Cobra does not work on an Xbox 360 Slim.
Yep. Okay.
Wait,
then.
what?
It doesn't boot. You put the disc in, it doesn't boot.
Interesting.
No, really?
Yeah, because
Okay,
it was one of the games I tried
I
when I got my S, and it just won't boot.
Well, is it the disc itself? Some of them have rotted because, like, I have a
no. This was back when I got it new. When I got the system.
Oh, you're talking like the angular one.
Yeah, like the
wow.
not the matte one, the shiny one.
The shiny one, yeah. Huh.
Yeah, the disc just wouldn't boot. It's the only disc I had that wouldn't boot. It's crazy.
All right. Yeah, this isn't good. Like, it's a side scroller, beat 'em up. When you beat up the Cobra troops, they explode into discs, which I'm still not 100% sure.
You should clarify. It's 3.5 inch.
Oh,
discs.
Sorry. Yes, they are 3.5 inch floppies. Yes, they are. Sorry, they are 3.5 inch floppies. I don't know. Do you know what to do with them? Did you figure it out?
No clue. I kept collecting them because that's what you do in video games. But I'm like, I don't know what I do with these.
Because my brain is like, I'm supposed to pick these up. I played 4 or 5 levels. I still don't know what I'm supposed to do with those.
I didn't even know how to super move until like halfway through the first level. I was like, I got the dog.
Yep, because it doesn't tell you anything. The combos, or if you can call them that, like the attacks and stuff, are just weird. Like,
I dash way too easily.
Yes, yeah. Like, I don't. It's just not good. Like, it just feels like a quintessential cash grab, and it's wild because they had 2 demos. And I played both of them, and they both played like this fucking
another G.I. Joe game came out and is just a cash grab. I won't believe you.
That's crazy, sir. It's crazy.
I mean, who's grabbing cash from G.I. Joe in 2024?
And that's
it's the same. But it's the same thing that, like, who's buying action figures? It's that same audience. G.I. Joe can't get a new fan base. They've tried. There was a really good cartoon series in the, I'm assuming it was the 2000s. I watched it. It was actually really well done. It kind of had an anime look to it.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that.
And it was fantastic. And I had no interest in G.I. Joe. I think I had one figure that was given to me at one point. And it was really good, but they could not sell figures. The movies bombed, of course. Did well enough, I guess, to get sequels or them to try again. You might see a bump because Image Comics now has G.I. Joe and Transformers and all the other Hasbro properties, and they're making something with it. But I would not be surprised if it, again, just doesn't go anywhere, because it just, I'm sorry, G.I. Joe's kind of old at this point. Like, isn't it Hasbro's oldest franchise?
Yeah, it's not just kind of old.
Yeah, it's very old.
I mean,
no, but I mean, like, even the 80s nostalgia part of it, like, Transformers kept going.
Transformers had big movies.
Christ alive! G.I. Joe has been around since 1942.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they were more dolls.
World War II dolls. Yeah,
that's what.
So
what was a comic book first?
Because it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's changed drastically. But like in the 90s, like Beast Wars was on. Transformers ended and Beast Wars came on. There was something there for people my age, and there just wasn't for G.I. Joe until the 2000s when they tried again.
Well, they're about to do that crossover movie, so
I think that I think
that might be the best thing to happen to G.I. Joe in a long time.
Yeah, I think that movie will be good, and the comic book series that IDW is doing now with its big universe is really well done too. Like, I read, because I think it started off with a Duke comic and Cobra Commander. and they're really good. So I'm curious if the movies are going to take kind of a similar approach to this universe that they have in IDW with all this stuff, because I don't know.
I'm not talking about really IDW. Well. IDW just lost all the license.
Well, it's not IDW.
Image,
I mean, it's
Image has it, and if anybody wants to watch Transformers wrestle, they should go and read the comic, because Daniel Warren Johnson makes very clear that he likes. I mean, he's done a bunch of wrestling comics. He has them like pile drive each other.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it is the Image one I'm talking about. It is the Image one I'm talking about. That's the Robert Kirkman play. Like he's
the Skybound. Right? Yeah, he's
Okay, yeah. That's the one I'm talking about. I apologize. Yeah, that's the one. Those books are good. Like I like that universe that they're building. And they've done a good job with G.I. Joe and like roping it into the Transformers stuff too. But yeah, anyway, this game is not good. Just leave Wrath of Cobra where it's at, because it's it's trash.
It's only on PC brawler, too, which is weird.
Yeah.
What's the better brawler, this or that Karate Kid game that just came out?
Nobody's played that, so I couldn't.
Yeah, I haven't played
that.
Oh,
it's not out yet. I thought it was out.
No, it's out. We just haven't played it.
Oh, wow. Okay. That doesn't seem
I feel like that game has to be better.
I can tell you what's not better is that Night Slashers remake that just came out this week.
Oh, is it not?
That game is not.
I don't even know what Night Slashers is.
Night Slashers is a great old Data East arcade beat 'em up where like you're fighting like the movie monster kind of stuff, like werewolves and vampires and shit. And it's a great classic game, but this remake, not good.
It looked good.
Dang. It looks good. It looks like that cartoon, like Street Fighter HD. Remember when they did that? Yeah, it looks like that, but like it's not good.
Oof. Oh well.
Beat 'em ups are hard, man. They're hard to do well.
Thank God we got DLC from one of the best ones as of late.
We got characters. We didn't get any new levels or anything.
It's DLC, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't buy that. I played it because of, it came out, but then because I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's just two. I don't even know these characters. Were they in the cartoon?
Yeah,
where they from?
They were in the cartoon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I guess that's it. I played some Helldivers too. If you don't know, Riot, if you haven't been on, we liberated the planet, so the construction has begun on our space station in the automaton sector. Currently, we are pushing on the Terminites, and we have to hold a planet for 3 days to complete that major order. 3 days left. So the planet is conquered. We are now just taking care to secure the surrounding planets before we move on.
Thanks for the sit rep, soldier.
You're welcome. For liberty. I think that's it though, for real. Oh no, I will talk about this real quick. I played the new Pokemon game that comes out, I think it's late next month. It's in early access in New Zealand, so if you make a New Zealand account, you can download it. I told you I got accounts for all of this stuff, because I at least check the shit out. It's really good. So the art is super cool of the cards. I managed to pull one. They have 3 cards that have this 3D kind of art where you can actually go into the image of the card, and the camera pans in and you see different stuff. So I managed to pull the Mewtwo one, which kind of shows you the lab where he escaped from, and you go down and you see a flash of Mew in the broken tank, and then it zooms back out and shows you the card. It's really cool. But they have a lot of different dope art and cards on there. And I think Anthony said he's gonna start sending me some Pokemon art when he see it, because I dig that shit.
I'm gonna probably even try that game. I'm assuming it plays more like Snap, obviously.
It does. Yep. But I was going to say that. Yeah, it's way quicker. So if you play, and you probably are familiar, with the Pokemon game, there's 6 prize cards that you have to get, to win. In this, there's 3. So and it's not even prize cards, it's points. So once you defeat someone's Pokemon, you get a point. And then the EX cards, if you defeat them, like that Mewtwo that I have as an EX card, you get 2 points. So games are literally maybe 5 minutes long. They do have like the supporter cards and stuff, but they're all condensed for this. So for instance, Professor Oak, I think, is like on the real game, you can search for, your deck for a Pokemon or whatever. In this, it will, or no, 2 cards or something like that. In this, you draw 2 cards. The Pokeballs that you draw in the real game is where you search for a specific Pokemon. In this, it just pulls a random Pokemon for you. So all the cards, the stuff is still kind of there. It's just translated to make it move faster. But it plays really well. The effects and stuff is nice, and they've built this game to be more for the people that if you don't want to actually just kind of play the battles, you can collect the cards. Like they have like a binder that you can set up and you can make it public where you can highlight your best cards and people can kind of scroll through and shit. Go ahead.
Do you have binders of Pokemon?
I do. Well,
like Mitt Romney.
Like, okay.
That's a deep pool joke right there. Sorry.
That show is. I forgot about that.
Don't you wish you could go back there?
I do.
It's one of those, wow, that's really a stupid thing to say, and now it's like, wow, what a charming thing to say.
Right. I would do anything to go back to that. Like, God.
That's the same time period when Howard Dean ruined his presidential aspirations by going,
yeah! Dave Chappelle.
Oh, fuck, that's one of my favorite sound clips.
Yep. Oh, Chappelle had a whole thing.
He sounds like Rayman when he finished a stage in the original.
Yeah. Like, what was that? Oh man. But yeah, you should check this out, Anthony, when it comes out. Like I said, I think it's the end of October. And they give you, like, you can open up 2 packs every 12 hours. They are going to have it's not necessarily a battle pass, but it's like a subscription thing that allows you to open up another pack. And then you also can I guess it is a battle pass because there's missions and stuff that it gives you that you can complete where you get like premium cards and stuff that are obviously only available in that thing. So yeah, it is a fucking battle pass. But yeah, so far I dig it. Like it's pretty good. And I do like the collecting aspect of it. Cause like I said, there's a lot of really cool looking cards. But yeah, that's it. That's all I played. I didn't talk forever. I'm sorry.
Okay, Anthony, you done wiping your nose now?
I mean,
I gave him enough time. Lord, I hope.
All right, so because I was sick, I haven't played a ton. I did write my review for EDF 6. You time travel back to EDF 5. Fuck you. Like you want in Canada, it's goddamn $79.99 for this fucking game, and you time travel back to the last game. I gave it a 5. Like, it's fine because it's basically the same fucking game. Running's better now, but like, you time travel back to the last game, which in a more competent game would be impressive. What an interesting way to reuse assets. But like, 5 looked like 4, which looked like 2025 because it's the same game on PS3. So this game still kind of looks like a PS3 game, just with better oh god, what's it called when anti-aliasing. So like, it's just. And then they put out World Brothers 2, and Ken's like, "You want it?" I'm like, "No, I'm just kind of done." Like they've killed all the goodwill, in my opinion, that this franchise has. Of course, the hardcores are gonna be like, "It's still great." It's like, it's still EDF, and like, I get it. We don't want to change the formula too much, but like, go play any other EDF game and tell me it's that much different. Like, these games played the exact same since the PS2. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, the 360 game is still probably my favorite because it looks the most like an old science fiction film, and not. I mean, this one does a better job. The robots kind of go back to looking like that instead of like anime robots. But I don't know, just I have a new game that we'll talk about, but I'll probably just wait till Ken talks about it, which is Zelda.
I mean, you've played it a shitload. I didn't get.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after because I don't know.
Okay, yeah, like I've barely touched it. I think I've only got like an hour in it. So
I want to talk about hardware. Fuck Roku remotes. My stupid RCA television came with one, and the original one died, so I went and replaced it. And the new one sucks too. And I don't know why, because it stopped working. I had to take the batteries out. I put the batteries back in. Doesn't work. Put a new different set of batteries in. They don't read at all. I don't know why it won't take rechargeable batteries, but they just won't. So I put in the original batteries again, and then suddenly it started working again. I was just trying to raise the volume so I could hear, because it was a little low when I was trying to play Zelda. And like, what a pile of shit. If I have to replace this, I'm just buying a universal, and I'll figure out how to fucking connect it to my television. I know I can do it through my phone, but like, go fuck yourself, you stupid pieces of shit. Like, what a cheap piece of crap that they just stop working.
I mean, you did buy an RCA television, which blows my brain, because do we even sell RCA televisions down here?
I don't know.
You probably do.
I've never seen an RCA television since like 1997. Like, truly.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen an RCA television.
It's a 4K 50-inch television. It was cheap, and I wanted to stop playing on my 24-inch. It's still working that I'm sitting at right now because it's my computer monitor.
The problem with TVs, though, is you totally get what you pay for. So if you bought it cheap, it's probably a piece of shit.
TV is great. The TV is not the problem. It's specifically the remotes. Because the second remote is not the original TV remote. So, like, let's say the first one is just a piece of junk. The second one that I bought to replace it, because it's got that stupid Roku OS in it, it's a piece of shit too. It's these fucking remotes are garbage.
I got like 20 of them in my recliner has like little compartments.
You should take a baseball bat, walk out into your backyard, and just throw them up in the air and bash each.
I could.
No Roku remote will ever be worse than the Amazon Fire remote.
Oh, that's true.
That thing's a piece of shit.
That is the shittiest remote that has ever been created.
Absolutely.
In better hardware news, I bought an analog pocket. For those who don't know,
thank you.
Analog.
You don't know what an analog is, really?
No, I know what the word means, but I don't know what it is
analog
as a device.
Brand name. Analog is a brand name. They first came onto the scene with like they would do HDMI mods. So what they would do is they take old NES consoles and sometimes Famicom and basically just reshell them. So they were these nice aluminum like NESs. But they had HDMI out, and honestly, they were nice devices. But somebody contacted them, like instead of just taking all these old consoles and just cutting them to pieces to make your product, which were expensive. That's the key word with analog is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it definitely is.
Which is the reason why I didn't have one until now. They said, why don't you use an FPGA, which is a field programmable gate array. Essentially, when you emulate stuff, there's multiple ways of doing it. You can either just rebuild the original hardware, which is obviously going to be a little bit hard to do because, we don't make old chips necessarily anymore. There's software emulation. There's hardware emulation, and then FPGA is sort of hardware. What it's doing is it's a chipset that can rewire itself on the fly. I'm not really doing a great example because I don't fully understand how it works. It's black magic, essentially. Once you start getting into chips, it's all black magic because, like, once you have to use a microscope to see all the lines and stuff, I don't know how the fuck anybody figured it out.
Yeah, the misters run on FPGAs.
Yes, yeah, and misters, for those who don't know, help you. Those are the. Wait, is that the?
That's the little. The mister is the one where you buy the board and then you can buy all the separate pieces and you can put a shell around it.
Okay,
but it runs off of cores, so somebody has to write the cores for each system.
So the same thing happens with analog products. They have one for the TurboGrafx Duo.
The NES one like the NES one's the analog NT, and it's like $500, and then you've got the analog.
They don't even make those anymore.
No, the Super Nintendo one.
For NT, there's the Mega SG.
Mega SG. There's the Turbo.
There's the. Hold on, they've got a new product. I don't know what the 3D is.
The Turbo just came out like a year, maybe a year and a half ago.
2 years ago, I think. Yeah, I mean, it was never going to be the biggest product.
No, like that thing, TurboGrafx was such a niche.
One.
Yeah, the N64 one. Yeah. And
the Pocket is their Game Boy.
Mm.
And I'm fascinated by that because I have a lot of Game Boy games. So the problem is that they are. Give me a second. I have to get to their shop so I can give you the exact price.
I think it's like $250 or $300 or something
so
like that.
So it's $250.
Yeah, but that's in our money, not King Charles Monopoly money.
Correct.
King Charles
Monopoly. So that plus shipping is over $400. And I was like, because they just restocked. Well, if you go there now, there's no. Actually, they still have the base models. So the base models, the black and white, are $219.99, white and black, and even the one of those still was over $400 shipped, American, right? So it's going to be, Canadian. And I was like, I don't know. So I said no. I'm kind of glad I did because I went on Facebook Marketplace and a guy was selling one for $300, and I went, wow. That's kind of inexpensive. So I asked him why he was getting rid of it, and he bought a yellow one too at the same time. And he told me that he had to pay duties when it came into the country twice. And I'm like, well, God, I didn't order one, but I have one in my hands. It's the nicest piece of hardware I've ever bought. Holy shit! Like, boy, do you pay high money to get.
I would assume that duties is tax. Is that what that is?
Sort of. It's anything that comes into the country you pay duties on.
Okay.
So
that's why military bases have duty free, because it's basically skipping over the tax you have to pay to move it across. Too. Yeah,
they've already done it.
Gotcha.
They'll do it in bulk. Because the other thing is with duties is it's a little weird.
We just keep saying duty and it's cracking me up.
I know. That's making me laugh. I've never heard it.
They called it.
Described as this.
No, I know it's real, but it's duty free, just like Mondaroos.
Yeah. So anyways, the shops work around it because they're at certain points. If you do more, you pay less. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's the reason why there's a business around that stuff. So, and the only time I've ever had to do it is with when I brought in my copy of Undertale for PS4, and it was specifically because I wanted the soundtrack on CD. But it came with a little gold locket music box thing. And because that was not included, I had to pay duty on it. Fuckers. Anyway, so the Analog Pocket, I've played around with it. It can play with adapters. It can play, Game Gear games, Neo Geo Pocket Color, as well as Atari Lynx games.
Those adapters are relatively cheap too, like $20 or something like that.
Yeah, there's a dock, so you can put it up to your you can just plug it in and it goes to your television.
That dock is expensive.
It's $30.
Is it $30? I thought it was more expensive than that.
No, it's $30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not bad, eh?
Is it the charging dock that costs a lot of money then?
No, that dock should. Give me a second. I'm double checking now because you now have me wondering. But
because so GameSack did an episode on it.
It's you know what? You're right. That's $100.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It's the case that's $30, and it's the adapters that are $30. That's right. My apologies.
Okay. Yeah, I knew something was stupid expensive. So.
And then there's other cables because there's a looper built into this, so you can actually connect it to a synthesizer and make loops out of it and stuff, and that's got its own cable and blah blah blah. That's not the reason why I bought it though. I bought it to play Game Boy games. So it's shaped like an original Game Boy, but it plays up to Game Boy Advance. There's so much to talk about with this. First of all, the actual feel of it, I've never held a game console that feels this good, which isn't on Nintendo. Obviously, this is a prestige or whatever you want to call it, a boutique item. So they're going to put more work into it. Rechargeable battery. It's got like it's got the link cable port still, so you can actually use it like your original Game Boy. It's this really nice glass screen protector that was on already when I got it from the guy because he put it on. So it's this really nice, like, actual piece of hardware. It emulates, well, I don't even know if you can call it emulate. It plays Game Boy games perfectly. What's really impressive is that it can play the games and emulate how the screen would have looked, even though it's backlit. The early Game Boy Advance had like not the proper colors. If you play a game on a Game Boy Advance SP or through emulation, it looks the color scheme looks different than the original Game Boy Advance. It emulates the original color scheme. It can play games off of a micro SD card, which I haven't set up yet, but
you have to hack the firmware.
Yeah, and then you can install other cores, so you can just play ROMs of Super Nintendo stuff, and you know, what a great piece of advice, what a great device. But yeah, like $300 is kind of like the end of what I would have paid for it. Like I just could not justify 400 plus on it. If you're in the States, it's probably more worthwhile because you probably don't pay as much. But you do get what you pay for in this, and I'm very surprised. Like I now get it. I now get why like people become evangelists for analog. Like just give me a second here. I've got so the game I've been playing a lot of, and part of it is because it's like one of my favorite Game Boy games, is Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, because
that's a great game.
That game just looks beautiful too, right? I think my only complaint hardware wise is that the volume buttons are very small and right next to the power button on the side. The power button thankfully puts it into sleep mode, so if you are playing a game, you can just hit the power button and it stays where you're supposed to be. Like an emulator, you also have save states. It'll load save states. This is a weird thing. This is nerdy. So when you put in a game cartridge, before I play it, now I'm pretty sure I can set it up to just avoid the boot screen.
You can. You can change your boots on analog.
But yeah, so you could just have it load up the cartridge.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it says Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. It tells me the revision, so I have revision 1. It tells you the system, which is smart because obviously it's going to auto-detect Game Boy Color games. It tells me the developer, Nintendo R&D 1, publisher, Nintendo, and regions, Europe, USA. And so it starts in its black and white mode, but you can set it so it's got that pea green color. You can have it. It reminds me a lot, if you've played, because they're probably the best for it, if you played the Castlevania or the Contra collections from M2, their Game Boy emulation is very much in line with how good the analog feels. But yeah, you go to memories and you can just load up. It's just you can change the palette. You can load custom palettes too. You can make custom palettes for each game. There's a frame blending, so it actually looks a little bit smoother. You can change the sharpness because the original Game Boy wasn't super sharp, actually, because it's that dot matrix display. It's just what a beautiful piece of hardware. And for me, who played a lot more Game Boy and DS games over my life, like if they had a DS one, I'd probably buy that too. I'm sure they will eventually. But yeah,
but now that should be expensive.
Yeah, but as someone who has like way more DS, like I have a ton of Game Boy games. I think I have like double that in DS and 3DS. So I do recommend one if people like their handheld portables. Like if you're bringing around like a Game Boy Advance SP, I'd honestly probably recommend upgrading because this just charges through USB-C as well, so you don't have to bring adapters around. Oh fuck! It's just what a beautiful fucking piece of hardware. I I'm the first one to have an analog here. I even asked everybody, so I just thought I'd come on and talk about that. And yeah, like I said, Zelda, which I'll talk about once Ken comes around. So,
all right, well, I move on to the Wombat.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm not gonna keep that voice up.
No.
I haven't played a ton. I finished up my NBA review. I don't know that I'll go back to that. It's just not. I don't know. It's not really drawing me in this year, so I don't know that I'll go back to it. I played some more Plucky Squire. I
didn't listen. I didn't listen last week. I apologize. I usually try to, so I'm updated.
That's okay. I haven't listened to the show in 18 years. So
no, but I usually try to, so I'm not asking questions that may have been answered last time.
I love how Ryan is a real one because he even Mr. B is like, that's okay. I ain't listened to the show in 18 years.
Well, he's told us why. He's like, I'm not going to listen to my friends talk. Let me rephrase it. I'm not going to listen to my friends and Anthony talk. Is that a Zelda-ass sort of game, or
not really? Not really.
No, there are the way it plays out is there are a whole bunch of different gameplay methods. I'd say the stock gameplay is sort of like a top-down Zelda, but not really. Like, it doesn't have all the same kind of options that Zelda has.
Puzzle?
No.
Are there puzzles in it? No.
There are some
kind of like
puzzles,
word
but not
puzzles. Yeah.
Yeah, there are some puzzles, but not anything that you would. Like, I guess Zelda is the closest analog.
Shit, damn, fuck.
But it's not really a Zelda game.
Okay.
It's got a whole bunch of different. It wears its influence on its sleeve.
I've seen, and I'm not spoiling this. If you looked at screenshots on Steam, I saw that there was a throwback to an NES game that is not of.
It's a lot of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah, okay. And there's like at one point you're battling in what looks like a Magic the Gathering card.
Yep.
There's like a bunch of little things like that.
There's a rhythm battle, like you have to like there's a lot of stuff like that.
There's a boss fight that plays like Punch Out.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of
that's the one I was referencing. Yeah.
I think it's a neat game. It's not the best game I've ever played, but it's enjoyable enough for sure. I have enjoyed my time with it. It's on PlayStation Plus. If you have PlayStation Plus,
I do not.
Oh, you don't. That's right, you don't.
But it's only PlayStation 5 and Series, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Give me a second. Let me see, because PS4 has been weird to get. Correct, yeah. So Switch is the only place I'd be able to really play it other than PC. So there's a physical copy coming in February.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to wait for that because I like James Turner's art enough to warrant buying the art book.
The art
is excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, the art is very good.
That part of the game is top tier.
Give me a second here. I want to just make sure I throw... Because me, like a dumbass, I was following the artist, not realizing he was the guy. James Turner, so that's exactly spelled how you think it is, _42 on Instagram. He's the one that designed all the characters. He does a ton of video game art. He does a lot of Kirby. He's got Wario in a Tanuki suit. He's actually done a couple of Pokemon cards. He's a great artist. He's got hold on, that one's going to be shared to everybody. He's got one that's speaking of Zelda. Of course it won't load a fucking screenshot. I fucking hate you. But he's got Link. I love his artwork. And then as we got closer to Plucky Squire, I realized, oh, that's the guy. So I'll be waiting for his art book to come with the physical copy.
Yeah, it's the art is definitely one of the highlights of the game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Oh, so my son wanted to play Black Myth Wukong. And so I mentioned this before. So because it's not out on Xbox, he bought it on PlayStation. And he doesn't play the PlayStation all that often. So he bought it on PlayStation. And normally he plays on a sub account. But in this case, he started it on my account. And he's played a decent amount through the game. And so I was trying to figure out what to play because I'm in a little bit of a lull. And I was like, oh, well, I'll start Wukong and give that a try. And so I was like, yeah, but I don't want to mess up his save file, so I'll just play it under his account on my PlayStation. So I boot the game up, and I get a title screen, and there's some Chinese writing on the title screen. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess maybe I just hit a button to continue. So I hit a button, and it gives me two options, both of which are in Chinese. And I'm like, I don't know what this means. So I picked the bottom one, and that took me into an options menu where everything was in Chinese. I changed every option, and none of them changed anything back to English. And so I looked it up, and apparently there is a known issue with the game where, and see if you can get your head around this. Any account other than the first account to play the game is locked to Chinese.
What the fuck?
So if you have multiple users on the same system, it doesn't matter which user buys the game, apparently. It's whichever user plays the game first. Every other user, the game will be locked into Chinese. And
nice.
So apparently they haven't fixed that yet. And so I cannot play the game because I don't speak Chinese. So, yeah, I'll wait until hopefully they fix that. Or my son once he finishes it, then I can play it on my account because I won't have to worry about screwing his game up. But yeah, so if you are somebody who uses multiple accounts on your system and you've been thinking about buying Wukong, just be aware that as of right now, whoever plays it first is the only one that gets to play it in English. So choose wisely, I guess, is the way to put that. So I have not played Wukong because of that. And what else did I play?
But you're not getting in the true experience, the way the developers developed it.
And listen, I would play it if it was just like the speaking language that was locked to Chinese. I would play it because I would probably end up playing this game with Chinese voice acting and English subtitles anyway.
Dude, the English voice acting is so bad.
Yeah, I can't get there if I don't know what any of the menu options mean. So if it was just the language that was locked to Chinese, no problem. But I can't even get in the game because I don't know what any of the menu options mean. So, and as much as I would like to play Wukong, I don't really have time to learn Chinese just to play the game.
I can help you with that. So on the main screen, the bottom one goes to settings.
Yeah, apparently. That one I learned. That one I did learn. So the only other thing that I played is I've been trying to finish up Space Marine again, the first one. And I forget how much the difficulty spikes in that game. There are several parts in the game where the difficulty just goes through the roof, and you're getting pounded from every direction by enemies shooting you, enemies shooting rockets at you, enemies coming up and attacking you, and it is just can be so frustrating, especially the rockets, because there'll be orcs shooting rockets at you from halfway across the map, like orcs you can't even see shooting rockets at you, and it sucks because the way you get health back in that game is you have to do executions, but you get no invincibility when you're doing executions. So you're stuck in the animation and you're getting hit with bullets or little goblin guys coming up and hitting you with axes. So then what'll happen is they'll give you like a new power or a new weapon, and it's like, oh, okay, now this feels like the way I remember. But that only lasts for a couple stages, and then all of a sudden you're overpowered again. So I'm making my way back through it, but the game is more frustrating than I remember.
Downtown, welcome to...
Okay, good. Yep,
Yes.
I instantly
I
was
really
there
needed
too.
the Vanessa Carlton there. That was maybe I should have been listening to Vanessa Carlton while I played the game, and it would have reduced my stress level or something. But yeah, it's definitely more frustrating than I remember. But I'm gonna see my way through it because I'm on. I think I'm on 13 or 14 out of 17 chapters, so I'm almost to the end. Yeah, so I'm gonna finish that up. And then outside of that, like I said, I'm kind of in a drought right now. I don't really have a whole lot to play. I'm just kind of treading water until the fall when we got about a month until Dragon Age comes out. And then Dragon Quest 3 right after that. So there'll be a lot to play.
Are you following the Dragon Quest 3 stuff?
Yes.
They keep showing stuff, and I'm like, good lord. They have really gone all out.
Yeah, they've really put a lot of work into this remake, so I'm really excited for it, and I know they've already announced the remakes of 1 and 2 to follow. I hope they remake basically everything up to 6 in this art style. Once you get to 7, it would sort of get a little strange to remake it in this art style. Not that they couldn't do it, but those games are already different enough from the SNES games that it would be tougher, I think. But they should at least remake all the NES and SNES games in this style. I think they would do pretty well. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. But we've got a little bit of time left before that comes out. Yeah, I mean that's really it.
All right. Let me think here. I will roll through stuff pretty quickly. Big stuff, I guess we'll start off with Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports.
It's awesome.
No.
Sadness.
So, my biggest issue about this game is like the presentation, everything is great. Like the visuals are great, it looks great. You know, it's got that Looney Tunes look and feel. There's only 4 sports, so I'll just kind of run through each one. The basketball should just be NBA Jam. It's not. Feels really stiff. I also found a double dribble exploit, so I could hit a 3 every time. So, like, nice. I think I beat the computer like 70 to 15.
Awesome. Jesus.
So that was fun. The golf is probably the best of them, and it still feels really bad. Also, you have to wait for everybody to take their turn if you're not playing multiplayer. And so I had to watch them do their shots, and what cracks me up is like on the first hole, I'm like, all right, I'll just shoot the shot, do like a normal thing. Well, then the computer comes up, he like turns to the side, and apparently there's like a hole you can hit, and it gives you like an automatic hole in one, and he just did that. And I'm like, okay, so that's a thing. But then the rest of the holes we played, the dude was like shooting into the rough. Like the AI is so inconsistent. It's just, it's bad. The soccer, it doesn't feel great.
But I'm going to ask a question, and I'm not trying to be rude. Are there many soccer games that actually feel good?
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Are there? Okay, because I've only ever played like a couple, and I'm like, these don't feel fantastic.
No, the EA ones feel great.
The sport, I wasn't sure, so
no, EA ones feel great, and then
the EA ones I know because like, let's be honest, outside of the fact that like they might sell you the same game 2 years in a row, generally like I played their football and I liked it.
You know what the best one is? You should. You're a Sega guy.
No, because I didn't play the Sega sports games.
Well, it's not a real soccer game.
Oh, is it like a mutant one?
Soccer Slam. Soccer Slam was on Xbox and PS2 and GameCube.
I've never heard of this. I've never heard of it.
It's a Sega game. I love that game.
Super Mega Man Soccer.
Mega Man Soccer sucks, and you know it.
Okay. All right, good. Because I was like, I remember that one too, and I was like, pretty sure that's terrible.
Yeah,
but like,
it's
maybe I'm just
terrible.
really bad at soccer at this point.
No, what I don't understand about this Looney Tunes game is like, you would think the tennis would be good because like every arcade tennis game is usually pretty good.
NES is still pretty good.
It's not. Yeah, it's not tough to make a good arcade tennis game.
Well, apparently the people who made Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports have solved this riddle. They can make a bad tennis game. I don't know, man. I saw people reviewing this game because I haven't written mine yet. They're giving like a 7. I'm like, what did you play? Like, have you ever played an arcade sports game?
This is their first one. They're like, oh man, this is great.
Oh, it's not. It's not good at all. You want to speak
That
about?
makes me sad.
You want to talk about games that ain't good? I know we talked about this last week, but I got a chance to play it. Matchbox Driving Adventures. Oh my god,
How generic is
How
it?
you mess up that?
dude, it's so bad. So, the premise of the game is exactly what we talked about, where it's like this open world, but like it's an open map, and you pick a mission, and then you got to do the mission within the world. The control of the cars is so bad. Like making a turn is incredibly hard. I got stuck. So the first mission basically has you delivering packages to different areas in the world. And I didn't know this, but like there's other cars trying to do the same thing as you while you're playing. So like they're just driving around the world. I tried to turn down like a side road. Everything is blocked off. So imagine like you're in a city. You can only drive on the roads. If you try to drive on the sidewalk or in between buildings, you can't do it. It's it's invisible wall. It's so bad. It's so bad. All right.
Shame that I had such high expectations for the Matchbox game.
No, you shouldn't. It's from Outright Games too, so you should have even less. One game that I did play that was kind of neat is called They Came from the Sky 2. It's essentially like a single screen game where you're playing as an alien, like mech. Very 50s cartoony style alien invasion stuff. Where you just kind of move left and right on the screen. And think of it like a Rampage, but you've got a gun. So like you can shoot people on the street, and then eventually like the military will come for you, and you've got to shoot them down. Basically, it's survive as long as you can kind of game, and like the enemies get harder and harder as you play. It's actually kind of cool. I had fun with that game. World of Outlaws Dirt Racing was bad, but all you got to do is take a look at the cover with the cover stars, and you kind of get an idea. I thought Purea was going to be cool because it's a WarioWare style game where it just throws random games at you for like 2 seconds, and the objective is to like collect marbles. But when the game started repeating, like on my second run, I'm like, yeah, this ain't got no variety. Talked about All You Need Is Help. Talked about Night Slashers Remake. I hate both of those games. Something I don't hate is the DLC for the Atari 50 Anniversary Collection. So
I thought this was originally supposed to be free.
It's not. It's $8. It's
No, it's not. Listen, I'm not upset about having to spend more money on good quality content.
And it's very good.
They said that was going to be free, so I thought that I'm like, okay.
No, there's like, was there 19 games and like a whole new timeline, so you get to watch a bunch of new videos, including a video with the lady who created the Atari logo, which is really cool.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the one of the guys over there had basically said that he ran into her by chance.
Oh, that's cool.
And she had mentioned that she had designed the Atari logo, and so he kind of put in the back of his mind that they were going to try to interview her if and when they did DLC.
Yep, she is in this DLC alongside the 19 games and a bunch of other stuff. The next one I'm really excited for.
That's the best company logo. It might be.
It's pretty good.
I mean, in terms of video games, obviously. Like, out of all the manufacturers of hardware, I think that might be the best.
Very recognizable, for sure.
Yep. And it's a cultural icon. Even people who don't play video games know that logo. So.
Yep.
Yeah, that DLC is very good. I did talk with the guys over at Digital Eclipse because the Xbox version's got a really bad sync issue with the videos. So like the audio is very off from the video itself.
Get some Drano for that bitch.
Yeah. But yeah, I was chatting with Mike Micah. If you don't know who Mike Micah is, like he runs Digital Eclipse. Dude is super awesome. Big retro gamer.
The one that proposed to his, I think it's his wife still, via Clax.
It may be. That dude is like super retro. I love chatting with that dude on Twitter. But yeah, he's looking into the sync issue, so I thought that was pretty cool. What else did I play? So I played a bunch of other indie games. Most of these are crap. So I played that game's Advent Calendar 2024. You can set that game to play a new game every day, like a calendar. You start on December 1st or whatever.
Yes, it is Mike Micah, by the way. There's an Easter egg in Clax on the Game Boy Color that if you do a certain set, it unlocks a picture, and it's him and his wife, and he says, "Mickey, will you marry me?"
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's a super awesome. There's a behind the scenes of Digital Eclipse from Electronic Playground, the Victor Lucas video, YouTube channel. Go check that out. All those dudes are really cool. Yeah, the game's Advent Calendar is really bad. Don't buy that. Not that you would. So they made another vampire. So I feel like every week when I get the indie games, it's always there's a first person horror game. There is a here's 100 levels of like Meat Boy style game, and now there's always a Vampire Survivors game.
Yeah.
And this new
Vampire Survivors clone, man.
This
all
one's
over the place.
This one's called Farmer Survivors.
Oh god.
You're literally a farmer, like killing caterpillars and bugs with like a scythe.
Wow.
It's bad. It's really bad. Probably one of the bigger things I played this week is I still haven't finished it, but I'm playing through the Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns expansion story. And honestly, most of the time I would be finished with the story by now, but I've kind of gotten wrapped up in playing the new characters and seeing all of the animalities, which I think I'm at that point in my life where I look at a game like Mortal Kombat 1 and I look at an animality, which is just like a free update for like 30 plus characters, and the ridiculous amount of detail and animation that goes into that just screams so much money.
Yeah, I saw a YouTube video of all of them.
That's because they got you paying for everything.
Well, this is free.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The money came from all the people paying for shit in the original game.
Oh yeah, the skin prices are out of control. The character prices are out of control. This expansion pack is $50.
Jeez, oh Pete's.
It comes with the story mode, which from what I hear is about 2 hours long. It comes with all 6 of the characters. You get 3 right up front. So you get Cyrax, Sector, and Noob Saibot right out of the gate. Which is weird because that means that the drip for the rest of the characters is going to be all the guest characters. So there's not going to be any like just straight Mortal Kombat characters in the rest of the updates. Which is weird.
Weird.
So like you just get T-1000, Conan, and Ghostface. So that's weird.
What a weird set of guest characters.
Well, I mean, they've done so many at this point. It's like if you don't bring one back, what do you bring? You know?
I don't like the. I've said this before. I was never a fan of the decision to go with the movie and horror characters as guest characters in Mortal Kombat.
No, but they are the most popular downloadable content.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I have no doubt in my mind that that's the case. But I feel like it did some damage to. I'm confident as a property it's more successful than ever, but it did some damage to the lore to me for half the new characters every year to be horror movies or action movie characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's
I feel
weird.
like they had an opportunity after Deception because they invented a lot of Mortal Kombat lore in that time period between Mortal Kombat mythology, Sub-Zero, and Deception. They invented a lot of Mortal Kombat lore, and I feel like they had an opportunity to do some really cool stuff with that, and they never really did. And I feel like some of that, not all of that, but some of that is because on the DLC side, they sort of leaned into all these movie characters. And I don't know if that was if MK versus DC was sort of the initial, the genesis of that, but I do feel like it's hurt their lore.
Yeah.
But I mean, money talks. So.
Well, it's also interesting that these characters don't have anything to do with the main story. So, like the story mode, they don't show up at all. So.
Yeah, but just having them there, sort of pulls you out of the fiction.
Yeah, there's nothing like watching Quan Chi match up with John fucking Cena, you know?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's just such a weird thing.
Yeah, they don't have to actually be active participants in the story for their inclusion to sort of pull you out of the fiction.
Yeah. Like, the only one that ever made sense to me was, like, Freddy Krueger, because, like, maybe he was invading their dreams or something. I don't know. But, yeah, it's weird. These are also weird characters to bring in. Like, the T-1000, I'm interested to see what they do with his, like, fatalities and stuff. But, like, I don't know, fucking Conan? Like, okay.
I bet there's a reference to a thumbs up as they sink into something.
That was, no, because Arnold Terminator was in 11.
He was in yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah.
So that's definitely there. All right. So let's talk about Zelda, because I think that's kind of it for this. And like I said earlier, I've only played like an hour. So I got through the first dungeon, which is the Link dungeon, and then I did the escape as Zelda, and now I'm in the world. So I'm just like out in the world now. Like I haven't even made it to the first dungeon, which I'm assuming is the spot they tell you to go to.
So, yes. So, dungeons are a bit weird, because you go into the rift stuff.
Yeah, the purple thing, yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the first thing that you noticed.
Oh, you want to talk about the nasty part of this game?
I have some complaints about this game, even though I'm gonna say something kind of shocking after, but boy, this game does not run well.
This game runs like shit.
And I hoped it would be figured out, because I know Link's Awakening had that issue, and I have a feeling part of that comes from the post-processing to make it look like it's got that tilt shift look.
So, according to like people who analyze this stuff, like if you just stand still and move the camera around, it's fine. It's when you're moving and it's drawing in the world.
Okay.
That is what is causing the slowdown. Because if you just stand still and like flick, because you know how you can use the right analog stick to flick the camera, like it stays locked at 60. But as soon as it starts streaming the world, it fucks up. And that's why the dungeons are cleaner.
This is the fault of not using screens, which the dungeons use.
Yeah, that's why the dungeons run at the locked 60. So
there's a reason. Yeah, so that's that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, it got real bad in the open world.
It's bad.
Yeah, like you feel like it's like an alpha bad. Like that's how bad it is.
It looks like something you would expect to see in a trailer and then have disappear by the time it releases.
Yeah.
Or in a demo or something. It was noticeable in Link's Awakening, but it was nowhere near as bad as this game.
No, this one is much, much worse than Link's Awakening.
And I think part of the reason why it feels worse too is that Zelda does not attack.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Now there is a way around that, and it's in trailers and stuff. But
yes.
So where do I start first? So I'm kind of annoyed that because you don't have a direct attack, it's sort of okay. So the whole gimmick of this game is you can kind of copy certain objects, and when enemies are defeated, you can copy them, and then you can summon them, right? And there's a limit to what you can summon because the character that's with you, Tri, has like a little tail. and the tail's made of triangles, and for everything you summon, there's a triangle cost. So that is 1 off of his tail, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So like certain enemies will be 3. Well, that's your entire summon capability right there. And you can upgrade that you do upgrade that so you have more things you can summon. But enemies are really bad at it. Like, unless they attack immediately when you summon, they're really bad at taking their time. So,
yeah, for sure.
I have a Moblin who throws spears. And for a long time, that was my only way to do ranged attacks. And that's a problem, because you need ranged attacks to attack enemies in the air or in the water. And he takes a sweet-ass time. Essentially, the Moblin will be hit before it throws a spear. So it's going to die if it has to do 3 points of damage to an enemy, which is 3 spears. You have to wait. You have to basically summon 2, because it's going to take 3 hits, or it'll die and then it'll kill the enemy at the same time. That's a big issue. So I have an issue with that, first and foremost. Like, you can throw rocks, and that's great, but like the bats and the birds will stay above you, so you can't hit them until they get close enough to you. And Zelda's just not strong enough. There's a whole system of being able to equip accessories, and those accessories make certain things happen. So like there's early on you get like a heart, it's a heart choker or necklace or fucking whatever. You get a heart something, it makes hearts appear more often. It's one of those. Does anybody remember? Well, I know Ryan does, but like Scribblenauts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
right. The whole gimmick was anything you write can be brought to life, and you eventually just realize like there's like 3 things that you can use to solve most puzzles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rope, helicopter, gun.
Yeah, the joy in those games came from just seeing what cool, fun stuff you could summon. The actual puzzles, like you said, you could solve with a handful of things.
And
you didn't have to be super creative.
It feels
which
like
is good because it was a game for kids.
Right, but it feels like the combat in this game is that.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest.
Summon one of 4 creatures, and all right, like
I feel like a lot of the things you get are made redundant very fast.
So the objects you get, I find, are not.
But like how many 1 square, 1 height things? You know what I mean?
Oh, I love this game because it's more puzzle based.
It's very much a puzzle game.
Sucks.
Yes.
Like it's the reverse of the last 2 mainline Zeldas, right? Like it's a reverse of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, where those games, although Tears of the Kingdom I think was better at the puzzle aspect of it, a lot of that game is more focused on how you deal with enemies in the world, right? Like
I don't know. I feel like I disagree with that. I feel like Tears of the Kingdom was more about the puzzle solving of traversing the world.
Sure, but I think that like a lot of traversing the world comes from the fact of I do not want to get into a fight with the giant dragon who's going to kill me in one shot.
Yeah, that's the thing is I skipped so much battle in Tears of the Kingdom because my goal was just traversing the world.
So in this game, traversing the world feels great. But there is no combat aspect that feels as good as, say, Tears of the Kingdom.
Which is crazy because there is quite a few enemies scattered throughout the world.
Mm-hmm. And that becomes a problem, right? Now the combat doesn't feel as good. And they're giving me a bunch of ingredients to make smoothies, because that's the sort of equivalent to making food. And you'll get bonuses, of course, based on what you make into the smoothie. And I do like that the fact that when I met the person that makes the smoothie, it's one of the Deku scrubs from like Ocarina of Time, who the business scrubs, you know, the guys that have like the bow tie, and stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. He's the one, but it's like by the time I ran into that, I have like a ton of ingredients. I'm like, I still don't know what benefit this has for me when I can just eat this to regain health. because I'm not taking a lot of damage. I'm more irritated by the fact that I'm running around and waiting for enemies or my summoned enemies, I should say, to attack. Like, the boss fights are good. That's a good news, right? Like, the boss fights are smart. Both in the first dungeon, I'm not going to say what it is, but the mini boss and the final boss of the first dungeon were fantastic. I was like, those are really smart, because the main boss, the gimmick what I was doing to do damage didn't work on the last phase, and I was like, oh, okay, so now you're forcing my hand, and I kind of have to change my strategy here, and that's pretty smart. But in the main world, just waiting for enemies to attack, I'm like, fucking Christ.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest issue with this game, is that this world is much bigger than Link's Awakening, and it's going to be a lot of
waiting. It's a lot of waiting.
Yeah.
That being said, when you're puzzle solving in this game,
it's awesome.
Shit.
Yeah, I love it.
It's some of the best. So I'm looking at something and I'm like, I don't know if I can get there yet. And I'm like, wait a second. I think I can cheese this. And sure enough, I can. And
I've cheesed so many chests in the open world already.
They get even better.
Yeah.
I'm looking at something. I'm like, I don't know if I can, but I'm like, but now I have 4 things I can summon.
The bed is OP, son.
Oh, the bed. Yeah. Yeah. The bed and the trampoline.
Oh yeah, I just got the trampoline, yeah.
I think the writing in this game is actually some of the best writing in a Zelda game. I sent you that message that I'm like, read the journal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They do some really interesting lore around what happens when stuff enters these rifts. It is really fascinating. It's just, and the dungeons don't have a ton of combat either. I'll make that clear too. The dungeons are more about puzzle solving, or at least the first one was. It's the overworld. It's the overworld that, unfortunately, because it's still a Zelda game, they still felt it necessary to have a bunch of these enemies in the overworld. And at times it feels like, okay, well, here's the battle section. That's fine. It's a little arena. But at other times I'm like, I'm just trying to get through this area and there's a bunch of enemies and I can only summon 2 things and they're not doing enough damage. So I'm running around just trying not to be hit while I wait for these enemies to finally attack. And they're like, well, if you target an enemy with the ZL button, when you summon an enemy, they'll go and just attack that enemy that you're. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't work perfectly either.
No, it didn't work perfectly at all.
But I'm going to tell you, there's some stuff in that first dungeon that you do puzzle wise that I'm like, yeah, this might be my favorite Zelda game. I just wish that combat was better. And this is the other part, what you get to solve sort of the lack of combat abilities in the first dungeon. I won't spoil it because I know it's in trailers, but I'm just not going to say it. What you get is great, but it runs out too quick. And that's a problem where it's like, well, you can upgrade it. And I'm like, yeah, I can upgrade to make it last longer, but there's also 2 other options on the D-pad that aren't filled out yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me concerned that the resource that I have to upgrade that ability is going to be needed for those other 2 things. And if those other 2 things are much more important, I'm not going to pour resources that I don't know if this is the only thing it works on yet into this one ability. And that's because I've played Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, where certain resources you want to save to upgrade certain things, right? Like the armor, or in Tears of the Kingdom where you can fuse stuff together, right?
Yeah.
So I'm holding on to certain things, like this upgrade resource, and I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be used more. And it's like, again, it's just I'm not saying she needs to have a bow and arrow or something, but there just needs to be something that's a little bit more consistent. Because again, I'm just summoning the same enemies over and over and over again to just plow through 4 enemies because they keep dying because they don't attack fast enough.
I'm not a fan of the combat at all.
Yeah, and it's just like as I go through and the enemies get tougher, it's great that I have a tougher enemy to fight with, but I had to fight that enemy in the first place, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this though: if you see caves, make sure you enter every cave because a lot of those caves are optional and give you stronger enemies to then use in the overworld. Like, there's an armadillo enemy that rolls. That's the whole gimmick. And
Armadillo's got to be pissed at this point. It's like every video game, I just fucking roll.
So the armadillo.
Have you seen an armadillo?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
They love that
kind of their
shit.
gimmick. Yeah.
Seen an armadillo play with a ball?
They're great. That's great.
That's a mechanic in Astrobot. It's basically the Mario ball rolling mechanic, but you're on an armadillo.
No. When armadillos do it, they like grab onto the top of the ball
jump,
and try to curl themselves around
the
it.
ball and curl themselves around it and then roll around.
It's great.
It's precious.
This is my last complaint, and I know I'm complaining a lot about a game I said I really enjoy. I got a second level of that enemy, so it's more powerful. It has more hit points. It doesn't overwrite the original, which to some extent I go fair enough, right? Because the stronger version requires more summoning power. Except that, like, to quick access items, it's a fucking linear path that you have to go through, or you have to bring it up, go into a different menu, and then scroll through all your shit there too.
Yeah, that was my concern early on. Is like this
needs to be a quick select option where I go, here's my 8 things that I want.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing. Like going through that menu, it's like it starts off and it's like, oh well, there's only 4 things. I'm like, yeah, but I'm gonna get like a bunch more.
Dude, I'm at like over 20.
Yeah, that's too far to scroll.
And here's so I have 2 solutions to that. Either do a radial wheel where I select, right, or just keep the most popular stuff in there. Because it's the same, to anybody who hasn't played this game, it's the same system that you use to select your swords, your shields, your bows, and then later your fuse items in Tears of the Kingdom. Right? Like, you know how you bring it up and then you hold a button and then you can scroll left to right through all your weapons. Now imagine that, but you have hundreds of stuff that you've collected around the world.
And that's the main mechanic in Zelda. It's more of a secondary thing.
Yeah, exactly. And you can easily circumvent that by just pressing pause and then like going through your menus, which are set up a lot nicer than this gigantic just page of all the shit that you've collected.
Yep.
It's a very good game, and I really love it because, again, it focuses on the part of Zelda that I prefer more, which is puzzles, and a lot of exploration. But it seems to have managed to fuck up, like, making that as fun as possible by having poor combat and poor menus, and then a poor performance. It's like it's kind of a bummer on some levels because it's the stuff that keeps making me like go, I'm just going to take a break from this game. When in reality, I'm like, I would really love to just keep playing this, but I'm tired of having to wait for how my fucking characters fight. Like, it's just fucking kill them already.
I think this game is a wait for patches and maybe a Switch 2.
Yeah, honestly, like, it's one of those, like, yeah, people are upset that, like, there's so many good games out. It's gonna be the same price 7 months from now, so it's not like you need to get on right now to get a deal.
Yeah,
like you're not gonna miss anything. And honestly, there's not like a ton of people talking about it either. And I get it; it's not like Tears of the Kingdom, obviously, where it's the big headliner. But it's just not. It lacks the polish that I would hope it would have.
Yep, I'm right there with you. I like what it's doing, but I think it needs a lot of work.
Again, it's one of those things where it's like, do I recommend the game? Oh yeah, especially again if you're like me and you're like, I really love A Link to the Past and its puzzle solving, or Link's Awakening, because it's got a lot of that DNA in it. Not just because of it looks like the remake, but like you go into those side-scrolling areas, and now puzzle solving is changed because you're only working in 2 dimensions, right? Like that was brilliant too. There's aspects of that in this game where I'm just like, oh, so that character works like this when I'm in 2D. Because I got it again in vagaries. First dungeon, I get a new enemy that I can summon in 2D, and I'm like, but does that work in the 3D area? That ability, and lo and behold, it does. And now I'm like, well, I'm going to abuse the shit out of this because I would have not thought that it would work in the 3D space. So yeah, really neat concepts, very experimental in a lot of ways, but some of the experiments don't work out. And someone needs to learn how to make a nice menu system.
Yes.
Honestly, look at Ratchet and Clank, because that's what comes to mind. Because like, how many guns do you get in those games? And then it's just all a radial menu, and then you can switch between the radial menus. So you're not trying to look through a list of everything at once. Yeah.
Anthony, I can't wait until you get a PlayStation 5 so that you can play Rift Apart. As much as you talk about Ratchet and Clank, that game is so good.
It is very good.
I'm gonna say something, and I'm not obviously I haven't played Rift Apart, so I can't speak to that. Those games I still find incredibly fun to play, but boy, it's just missing that snark and the original. Well, even the third game's kind of missing the snark too. Like I really miss the whole "isn't capitalism great" sort of RoboCop vibe that I got from the first 2 games.
Yeah, and you don't really have that in Rift Apart as much either. But what you get it replaced with is a very it's more of a sweet story. And the characters are very, very good.
So it's not. I'm not trying to criticize Ratchet and Clank. I played the remaster, which I thought just cut any edge off of the series. But I do love those games still. It's not.
Yeah.
If that's where Insomniac wants that series to go, I'm fine with it because they're still fun. It's one of those series that I will play. Honestly, it's now what I think there's 3 games on PS5 that I'm sort of interested in. Ratchet and Clank is one of them. Obviously, Astrobot's another, and then the new Ghost game that we'll talk about, I'm sure.
All right.
The new Ghost game.
Ghosts of Yote. Somebody was waiting on us to mispronounce it.
I got it now.
It's a new Ghostbusters game.
Yote. Yeah.
All right. So while we were talking earlier, I Googled RCA TV on Amazon. The last time there was one release was in 2021.
Yeah, that's about probably when I bought mine, yeah.
And one of them is 720p. Just saying. So,
yep.
That's very funny to me. All right, let's talk about what's out this week. Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5. We got Master Detective Archives, Raincode Plus, Predator Hunting Grounds, Throne and Liberty, Damikira, Crypt Master. Man, if that was a Crypt Keeper game, I would totally be down. Kill Knight, MechWarrior 5 Clans, NHL 25, Scoutfold Into the Fray, SpongeBob SquarePants The Patrick Star Game, Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream, and Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel. Can't wait for that. PlayStation 5's actually got a few extra games. We got Fabledom, Asphalt Legends United Supercharged Edition, Crown Wars The Black Prince, Max Mustard, Max Mustard.
Max Mustard seems like it would be like a Commander Keen style.
You're not
platformer.
You're not wrong. Max Mustard. So what console is that for?
PlayStation 5.
That must be VR.
Okay. Speaking of
Max Mustard, is a major VR platformer with 40 unique levels, 4 ridiculous bosses, and 8 powerful upgrades. It's giving me Lucky's Tale / Astrobot VR vibes.
Oh, okay.
That's not a bad thing. Like it looks pretty good. I just don't know if it's not VR. I'll actually see if I can figure out a way to play it. Actually,
speaking of VR, we're also getting where'd it go? Metal Hellsinger VR. There it is. Pepper Grinder coming to PS5. Numata, Until Dawn remake, and Windstorm: Start of the Great Friendship remastered. Also,
some bad news. Bad news. Max Mustard is PSVR 2 only.
Oh well, fuck that game.
So
yeah, that sucks.
Enjoy selling a whole 2 copies.
Also, I was not
if it was PSVR 1 only, then all the cockroaches that are playing Ken's PSVR 1 in the dump are all set.
Yeah, they would have had a new game.
Sold that mustard.
The future generations that will be playing his unbiodegraded PlayStation VR 1.
Just admit that you're jealous of those
in the
roaches.
Mad Max style post-apocalyptic world.
I totally forgot that this was this soon, but somebody pinged me on Twitter and asked me about review codes, but Silent Hill is out a week from today for the deluxe edition.
Wow.
Wow, I forgot all about that. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's out obviously a week from Tuesday for everybody else, but the deluxe edition goes live Sunday a week from today when we're recording this.
Is anybody here excited for it?
I mean, I'm excited to play it.
I don't play Silent Hill at all. So.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'd buy it if we don't get a code. That's kind of my thing. Like, at least not till it's cheaper.
I've been critical of Bloober. I've seen a bit more of their game. It's better than I thought it would look.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's where the compliment ends. I will say this though. If you happen to have Silent Hill 2 on PC, I don't think this is going to be in the news. Somebody's made a mod that will make it third person, like over the shoulder.
Oh, like a normal over the shoulder game, yeah.
And fix some of the controls, I think, and stuff too. Well, fixed in relatively to the new camera angle. So,
all right, Nintendo Switch. What's out this week? Well, there's a lot. We've got Gallop Glory, Obstacle Racing, and Horse Simulator.
Yes,
I know you're excited. Planetiles, Conscript Deluxe Edition, Dice Assassin. Boy, you gotta be an OG to kill with dice.
Hell yeah.
Soul Stalker, 1000 Questions Quiz, National Flag, Block and Shot, Circus of Tim Tim, Dawn Grown, Egg Console Silver Ghost PC 8801 MK2 SR every week. Fast Penguin, Grand Gardens, Ichu Chibi Edition.
What do you think Circus of Tim Tim is?
If I had to guess, I would guess like one of those Meat Boy style games. I don't know.
Incorrect. Anybody else would like to guess?
I would have guessed one of those type games, so I don't know.
I mean, I have no idea.
Would first person mascot horror?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
Wow.
that tracks. Yeah.
Garten of Ban. That's all I
So
can
it's
think.
like what's the one that you guys always talk about?
The one that Ken was talking about was Poppy's Playtime.
Poppy's Playtime.
Poppy's Playtime.
Yeah. Poppy's Playtime is good. I like that game.
And this could be great too. I'm just tired of seeing mascot horrors.
Korean Drone Flying Tour Jeju Island 2. Meiji Tokyo Renka Full Moon. Necograms. P-Cross Records of the Shield Hero.
Man, I love P-Cross games.
Pour Cappuccino 1000.
Oh. Okay.
Refined Self, the personality test game. Rolling Football Player.
The Records of the Shield Hero Picross is based on some anime.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I kind of guessed that.
Tower Hover.
What was the last game? Rolling Football Hero? Is that
Rolling
what you said?
Football Player.
Okay.
So that's the soccer game. That's an awful soccer
Rolling
name.
Football Player. is an action game where a bizarre athletic game where an eternally rolling soccer player takes on athletic challenges. Push your limits in single-player mode.
What?
Estimated playtime 30 minutes to 240 minutes.
It looks like it looks like Katamari, sort of.
It does, but like if
Bad.
Katamari was really shitty.
Oh wow! Estimated playtime 30 minutes to 240 minutes.
Okay.
What?
All right.
Time it might take. I don't know. That's what you could have just written.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. What else we got? We got Garden Witch Life, Hide and Seek, Macho Shot, Off-Road Quest Simulator, Urban Skater, Skateboard Delivery City Challenge.
So Macho Shot, just so we're clear. Merge machos of the same type.
Into the ass.
Oh yeah, right in the butt. Merge machos of the same type, and they'll grow. Be careful not to let them overflow off the field. Oh wow, this is. Yeah. Okay. This is.
That's
This is something.
It's something. All right. That's a fetish game right there on my Nintendo Switch.
Nice. Switch has something for everyone.
I'm so happy for you. It looks like what was that? Mount Your Friends. Remember that game?
Oh, that was that was on Steam, wasn't it?
It was on Xbox Indie Games, and then I think it went to Steam. Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't even know it was on Xbox.
Oh yeah, we played it on. There's a video of me and K-Dub playing that game, and you will not hear people laugh harder than the fact that the dong physics, that they wobble back and forth. Oh god, it's a game.
Wow.
Like as soon as we boot it up, you just hear Justin start laughing his ass off. He's like, "Look at his wiener."
Yeah, and then there's genital jousting.
Yeah, that's
I've
penises.
seen that. I've seen video.
I don't remember what it was. I think that may have been included in a bundle, and I specifically did not buy that bundle because it was in it. I'm like, I don't need that.
All right, let's do some news. It was Tokyo Game Show week, so that was exciting. According to Windows Central sources,
it was
Xbox next. That wasn't even a Tokyo Game Show, but that motherfucker tweeted like 400 times during that State of Play.
Right.
And during the Xbox Tokyo Game Show, he's like, "Hey, it's happening in an hour."
Did y'all like it? Like that was it.
What'd you rate?
He's like, "It's happening in an hour."
Before and after. Yep.
Like literally, the man did not tweet during the show one time.
I think Microsoft checked it clear. He was like, "Nah, fuck that." I ain't
Dude
doing
tweeted 25 times during the Ken Kutaragi panel.
Bruh, somebody had a picture of like all of them like together side by side. Like it. Oh my god! It just puts it in perspective. Like, damn, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He ain't never beaten them allegations.
No, that dude is just a straight up. And you know what? Just like own it at this point. Like it's fine.
Right. You might as well just lean into it. Like, bro.
Like, we all think you're a simp anyways.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Your simp levels are Kojima, then PlayStation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you see, it probably isn't our news, did you see they were selling Death Stranding jackets?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who do you think bought one?
Keeley. Well, he didn't have to buy one because Kojima saw one for free.
No, everybody needs to stop with this. I don't think he's friends with Kojima.
No, I think he thinks he's friends with Kojima.
Yeah.
And
there's a big difference. Because you notice who Kojima takes photos with?
Celebrities.
And I genuinely think those celebrities are interested in working with him. Do not get me wrong. Because everybody talks well about the man that works with him. So it's not... I don't disbelieve it. I think he's a little weird, but
a little.
But he's not. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean. In this particular case, I don't think he's. When he makes stuff, he's very weird. But I think he's just a little weird in person. Yeah, no Keeley.
No.
You know.
All right.
I think he's a helpful idiot.
Well, yes, clearly. According to Windows Central sources, Xbox Next Gen includes a console and a Steam Deck. How many times have we heard this? And whatever. We're not talking about Next Gen right now. Whatever.
Right.
Asobo is actually using Planet Zoo's animals for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. That's kind of fucking cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that game is
how do
very.
you film that?
What's that?
Sorry, in that Microsoft Flight Simulator, using what?
Planet Zoo's animal models.
So
You can get out of the plane in Microsoft Flight Simulator, by the way.
what?
Yeah, you can like get out of the plane and walk around. It's crazy.
Holy shit! I did not know that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that game is also like 200 gigabytes too.
That's just the install. It's going to be streaming petabytes, dude. So I hope you don't have a cap.
Holy shit! I didn't know it was doing. Damn. Okay.
And when does that come out again? November?
November, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Xbox.
I enjoyed the first Flight Simulator. I should say I enjoyed it for like an afternoon.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I think I've kind of done all that I want to do with this.
Yeah, like I've seen everything I need to see.
It's like 150 gigs or whatever it is.
Yeah, I flew to my house. We're good.
Yeah.
Xbox announced a new controller. Shocker. It's called the Ghost Cypher. The transparent color is also now available for Elite Series 2 on the Design Lab, so you can go make your own that breaks.
Yeah. I wish they would do. I wish they would put the transparent color out there for regular controllers on the Design Lab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got a new controller because I always get a new controller. I got the blue one.
It's a day that ends in Y, so Ken got a new controller.
Yeah, it's the blue with the rubber grips, the like transparent one. It's pretty cool. Xbox system or Xbox update for September 2024: Game Bar compact mode for PC, more game management options, and the mobile app for Game Pass is being shut down and moved into the Xbox app. Why there were two apps, I will never know.
Yeah, that Game Pass app was completely useless.
Yep.
So I'm glad that they've done away with it.
PlayStation Plus games. We've got Dino Crisis and Blood Omen Legacy of Kain coming to PlayStation Premium. That's cool.
Play Blood Omen if you haven't.
Or play it another way that doesn't require you to pay $20.
Yeah, or play it another way, obviously. But definitely play it, because the first game is amazing. And you're not going to get a chance to play that remastered. So
also, Dino Crisis being recognized? Say what?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, everybody makes a mistake every now and then.
Shh, you be
Wow.
quiet, sir.
Hater.
Sorry, I have to. It's part of the gimmick now.
I was gonna say he's got to keep up his grift, otherwise, it's not gonna work.
The Dino Crisis hate will continue until a new Mega Man Legends game gets made. So forever.
Yeah.
PlayStation Plus Essentials for October are WWE 2K24, Dead Space, that one's really good, and Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, which if you haven't played it, don't read anything, just go play it.
I don't even know what that is.
You need to play it.
Don't read anything.
Game.
Don't read anything, just play it.
Don't.
Just
play it.
Hey, are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Just play it.
Just play it. And don't stop, because when you play it, you're going to be like, why do these motherfuckers tell me to play this? Just keep going.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Okay.
Sony raised the price of Horizon Zero Dawn after they announced the remaster and the $10 upgrade pack.
Because of course they did.
Yeah, that's fucking so stupid.
It went up from $20 to $40.
Although we did get the good news that if you have the version of Horizon Zero Dawn that they were giving away,
The PlayStation Plus one, you mean?
yeah, well, no, it wasn't PlayStation Plus. Remember, it was that
Essentials.
That Essentials thing when you bought the PlayStation 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you have that version, you can do the $10 upgrade.
That's awesome.
Anybody could claim that, right?
I think so, but I don't remember.
Anyways,
what was it? Instant Game Collection or something like that? It was called.
No, that's the Plus. That's what they used to call the Plus collection.
Oh,
game collection.
No, I know what you're talking about. Basically, when you bought a PS5, you got like 20 games. For
early adopter PS5 guys, that was the way to add a whole bunch of PlayStation.
It was
games
the equivalent of Nintendo giving you a bunch of NES and Game Boy Advance games on your 3DS for paying too much,
which they never made available after. It's fucked up.
Now, so since we're on the topic of the Horizon,
Can we just quickly roll back there for a second? Ken, what did you say?
Those were not available ever after that.
Do you know why?
Because Nintendo sucks?
No. So the NES stuff was made available after. The Game Boy Advance stuff is because what happens is, because the 3DS is built off of DS hardware and DS hardware is built off of Game Boy Advance hardware, essentially, they circumvent that and like go boot up the Game Boy Advance stuff in it to run those games, but it's such a like patched together version. That's the reason why that you can't you can't return to the main menu without shutting everything back down and opening it back up. Like, it actually reboots the console. It is something that shouldn't work, but does. And that's the reason why they never sold it. They couldn't make it better than that. It's literally like a, please God, just forgive us. This is our solution. Also, we can't make this actually work, so just take this. That's legitimately the reason why. It's running off of a thing held together with rubber bands.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of other ways to play Nintendo games because Nintendo doesn't want to let you do it. So, what were you saying about Horizon?
Yeah, I was just going to say that the after reading the stuff that came out about the remaster, or about the remaster this week, and the fact that it's a $10 upgrade charge, I'll pick it up. I'll pick up the remaster eventually to play back through the first game, because it does seem like they put a decent amount of work into the remaster.
For $10, it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, re-recording dialogue and motion capture and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do have a question.
The game looks better for sure. So I'll, like I said, when I go to replay the original, I'll probably pick up the remaster.
I have a question, and maybe I'm just being screwed with. Every time I see a side by side, I see differences. Don't get me wrong, but are people purposely labeling shit wrong?
That's what I was going to ask, because the pictures I saw, the one that's the old one looks better.
Like, I just
I don't know, because I don't know what.
It feels like more like it feels less like a remaster. Well, it's still a remaster in a sense. I feel like it's more of like we're changing the art direction from the first one.
Well, they're making it look more like they're using the lighting platform that Forbidden West has, and not the lighting platform that Zero Dawn had. So they're basically rebuilding it in the Forbidden West engine, with all the changes that go along with that.
Well, I guess we'll find out, because it's not very far away. It's like the end of October.
Yeah, if you watch the footage of it in motion, it looks like Forbidden West. Specifically, it looks like it doesn't. It's hard for me to tell from it in motion whether or not it looks like Burning Shores, but it definitely looks like Forbidden West more than it looks like the original.
All right. PlayStation 30th anniversary hardware went out for pre-order, and it was utter chaos. Those things are sitting on eBay now for like $5,000.
Yeah, and it's not even sold out.
No. Right. The 30th anniversary is.
Sorry, that
just sell the goddamn plates, you assholes.
Right. You know? Like, it's just a plate. Like, what are we doing?
And to fucking limit it.
Yeah, but to 12,000.
We're going to make sure it gets in the hand. Go fuck yourself.
So, the PlayStation 5 Pro is still available to buy. That thing did not sell out.
Did not sell out, as we expected.
Yeah, because ain't nobody spending that money.
Yeah, $700 is just too much for that thing.
Yes.
So if you want one...
the screens that they have put out have not been convincing at all.
No, and they've done, the Digital Foundry did a...
Go ahead. I was just going to say, they put out a Gran Turismo screenshot, and it's like, oh, look, this car is reflecting the car next to it. And it's like, okay, I mean, that's cool, but I'm not paying $700 for reflection of the car next to me.
Well, that's like...
Preach. Like,
either it happened in my head or I said it on the podcast, and at this time, like, maybe you're all figments of my imagination. But because everything just blends together now. Like the one that I saw that wasn't Final Fantasy. I don't remember what game it was, but somebody was looking at like a guard tower or something like that, and the guard tower's window was more transparent on the Pro. But one, you had to zoom in to see it. Two, it doesn't actually add any gameplay elements. Let's be honest. Like, you could still see stuff behind the window. It's just more transparent now. It's like, to me, it's like I want that extra power to go into things that the PS that actually can't be done without it.
Yep. Not going to happen because
I mean?
they didn't change the CPU.
Yep.
Right. And
which means games like Alan Wake with ray tracing still going to run at 30 frames a second.
Oh, fuck.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just going to say, because I've been critical of Kojima, tell me that, and I know they're remaking it, but tell me that the Metal Gear Solid games on PS2 don't look fucking amazing.
Dude,
right?
I am 100% on board.
It's not about this idea where graphics need to, sort of blow your mind all the time. You can get that out of the consoles. You just have to really work at it. And it's, to me, and this, I'm not saying Sony specifically because that's not fair. Because I think their games always look amazing. You're just going to see small upgrades with this, but it's to me, you can make stuff look like this already.
Well, and we're at that tipping point where you're running out of runway in terms of visual fidelity, in terms of how much better you can make the game look visually, and the hardware necessary to do it is increasingly expensive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially, and it's going to get more expensive, by the way, because all the GPU and chip manufacturers are tooling up for AI. So as the demand on those continues to increase, as everybody and their brother puts AI in your toaster, they're only going to get more expensive. So
I hope my toast doesn't come out with 7 fingers.
Well, you never know.
Right.
It's a brave new world, Ken. But we're getting to a point where that delta, right, between how much you have to pay and how much better it looks is only increasing, because the games aren't looking that much better and the hardware is going to get more expensive. So it's a prime example of what has always been the case, but is more the case now, is that art is more important than fidelity every time.
I'm just gonna say though, is there maybe, this is not a lazy dev conversation, trust me, it's not. But when I see that Call of Duty is 200 plus gigabytes, there is no reason why this stuff can't be compressed. You know what I mean? That's not the word I'm looking for computer wise. I don't know, maybe it is compressed, but they can make those smaller, and you can actually, get them at full resolution still. There's just not the optimize. This is all a workaround to just not optimize well, is how it feels to me. Right? There's a reason why Kojima's stuff looks so goddamn amazing, is because they're putting in the effort, and I'm sure he'll take advantage of PS5 Pro, don't get me wrong. But
well, yeah, I mean, to an extent,
he optimizes his games.
Yeah, to an extent, I agree with you, but it's also, like I said, it's also because he made smart choices from an art direction standpoint.
That too.
And especially in earlier generations, because you didn't have the power, you had to make more cautious decisions on the art side to make sure that you could still communicate the message and the visual sort of interpretation that you wanted to within the bounds of the technology. And as the technology power has increased, it's been more about how can we make it look more real, which is an art choice, right? Making stuff look like it's real life is an art decision that you can make. But it's everybody, it feels like, has moved towards that for a certain part of the last 10 years. And now I do feel like we're starting to get more people that are yeah, but maybe I just want to take this opportunity to do something unique with the art instead of trying to make it look like I'm watching television. And in that case, if you're smart with your art decisions, you don't necessarily need the extra GPU power that you're going to get out of this machine. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the addition of this new machine does to the way games look, because I have a feeling the wrong things are going to be prioritized. Wrong, in my opinion.
I think we can all agree Final Fantasy VII looks the exact fucking same, right? Like, I've looked at those screenshots multiple times, and they're like, "This looks so much better." And I'm like, I don't.
You talking about the Pro?
Yeah, I haven't played the game in motion, so I don't even know what it looks like.
It's less blurry. It's less blurry. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I've heard that. I think Ken, you said the original game looked like somebody had like spread Crisco on the screen.
Yeah, it's very blurry when you're playing in performance mode.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Which, again, like Ryan said earlier about the screenshot, it ain't worth $700.
No, yeah. That's
that's
the core conversation here.
I played like 60 hours of that game and was fine. Like,
well, and again, all of this is even if you have this conversation in a vacuum, right? And there are folks out there who are absolutely excited for this Pro, and more power to them. I'm glad. But we're having this visual fidelity conversation, and the reality is that Nintendo is going to release a console that's as powerful as the PS4 next year, and it's going to sell like gangbusters.
It's $400 run at 30 to 24 frames per second.
Right.
It's going to be all about. That's what Nintendo's always been good at. Is like their games are beautiful because they go for that art direction.
Right. Exactly. It's all about art direction.
Yep. Anyway, we'll see the other part of this. Not to drag this conversation out any longer, is like, if this thing ain't sold out, what is the incentive for a developer to go, I want to spend this money and this time to make a patch for a system that accounts for like 2% of the population?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same risk they ran last generation with the mid-generation
I
consoles.
think at this point in development, though, especially with games that come to PC, I think it just means that you can prioritize a higher sort of graphical fidelity and then just lower it for the platforms. But I don't know, like I don't have it, but it's like, we just got the Star Wars game on PS4, right? Like, it's just like,
that's why I don't understand the Pro. Like, I don't feel like the PS5 has been tapped out yet. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's part of the issue. Is like, I could at least understand the PS4 Pro. I felt like, okay, well, I'm starting to see games kind of get blurry because they're trying to push a little bit more out. And then it's like, okay, well, if you apply the PS4 Pro, the anti-aliasing's better or whatever. It's like, okay, fair enough. It can run it. It can do the lighting things that you can't do on a normal PS4. Fine, because it sounds like a jet engine already. But
it still worked.
But it still worked. I still use my original PS4. Yeah.
Like, it may have sounded like a jet engine, but that bitch still worked. And let's be honest. When the PS5 Pro was shown, what games were shown with it? Oh, I don't know. PS4 games?
Sandland. I played on PS4. And it looks amazing. I understand it's a very specific art style. And Toriyama's artwork just kind of works in video games anyways. But, like, I don't know what I would see in a PS5 copy that made me go, I need to get a PS5. Although I will say this, most of the PS4 games I've been buying, especially physically, are like, here's the PS5 copy if you get one too. It's like, all right.
All right, let's move on. Siren was rated in Korea by Sony. Nintendo's
like
filed.
Horror game?
Yeah, the old horror game. So I'm assuming they're bringing it back.
I'm not upset with that. Although I think the creator left when they got rid of all of their Japanese studios. So
maybe the case, but if you're just remastering an old game,
he's the Silent Hill guy, the original, not 2, but
Nintendo filed a new 24 gigahertz wireless device with the FCC, and it's not the Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah, I'm very curious what that is.
Yeah,
somebody explain to me what that means.
It's so the thought is that maybe it's like a Street Pass device. So I don't know if it would be used like as a Pokemon, a separate Pokemon Go machine or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what they would be using it for.
Because when I hear gigahertz, I think controllers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It could be like just a new model of that thing, because my friend has that Pokemon Go.
It's
like,
a
you play that
wave
game
bird.
hardcore.
The
wave bird. Oh, you talking about?
I doubt it would be a wave bird because they don't really do that anymore.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot of things it could be. It could be it could be some sort of motion detector. It could be some sort of standalone device, like I said. There's a whole bunch of it could be, some sort of I don't know. It could be an insert in a controller that tells you where the controller is if you've lost the controller. I mean, who knows what it is, but there's a whole lot of stuff that runs over 24 gigahertz, so it's hard to tell. But
the first concept.
If I had to guess based on knowing what I know about Nintendo, it's probably some sort of motion bullshit. Like, it's probably a new version of Ring Fit Adventure that has some motion bullshit in it.
New balance board.
I mean, it could be a new balance board. Although I don't really think you'd need that signal for a balance board, but could be.
You don't know about this balance board.
That's true. I don't. It could be a motion tracking balance board.
That's right. It's Connect 3.0.
Ooh.
This one just screams.
I didn't want Connect 1.0.
Sends it right to your phone.
Hell yeah.
It sends you a text message that says you're fat.
Just the sad Wii balance board makes the sound that when you step on it, but it actually calls you on your phone. Oh.
It does the goat scream when you step on it.
Just trying to remember all the ways that Wii Fit was incredibly cruel to its users.
Yeah.
You're like a 99-year-old. Go fuck yourself, piece of shit.
And by the way, as a parting gift, we're going to take the me that you designed and we're going to make it look fat.
Oh,
God,
Nintendo. The first concept for The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom was a Zelda Dungeon Maker.
Yeah, there's a couple of those out there already, Zelda Dungeon Makers.
Yeah, but not by Nintendo.
Licensed.
Yeah. All right.
Super Dungeon Maker, by the way, is really good. If you have
one on the PC that I have to send you, Ryan. Thank you for reminding me.
Yep.
We've got some release dates from Tokyo Game Show and other areas. We've got what do we got here? Professor Layton in the New World of Steam launches 2025 on Switch. Atari 50th Anniversary DLC is out September 26th, so it's out now. The next one's out in November. It's called The First Console War. Blasphemous 2 Mea Culpa DLC is out October 31st. Classic Resident Evil 3 is coming to GOG on September 25th. Tales of the Shire has been announced for March 25th, 2025. There's a demo out for Metaphor ReFantasio for Xbox and PlayStation. Sakaguchi's new game, Fantasia Neo Dimension, launches a physical version for Switch and PS5. The game is out for everything on December 2nd, I believe. Pow World dropped for PlayStation 5, already out everywhere
Nintendo
else.
Immediately sued them.
Yes, also it's not out in Japan on PS5. For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
The Radical Reptiles DLC dropped for Shredder's Revenge, which we talked about. Metro Awakening VR launches November 7th. Alan Wake 2 expansion, The Lake House, launches in October. And kind of big news, maybe a little bit. People were excited. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered launches December 10th on everything.
Yeah. Why would I play that when I can play it on my... nope, I forgot what it's called. Fuck me, never mind. Because they just released that on the little handheld there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The Evercade.
Evercade, thank you.
For again, I'll say it again, for anybody who hasn't played those games, play those games.
You want to talk about a game
especially now that they look awesome
that everybody should play? The Lunar Remastered Collection is coming in early 2025 to everything. So excited for that.
Yeah, that's cool. I remember that.
Dynasty Warriors Origins launches January 17th
And Dynasty
That
Warriors
looks
might be
really
back,
good.
by the way.
Yeah.
That game looks awesome.
Man, the 1v1 duel thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
what? They're actually bringing it back to the first game?
No, not to the first game. It's I mean, it's a Dynasty Warriors game. It's a Muso game. You fight a million bad guys on the battlefield and kill them with your superior martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks fantastic. And as Terrence was mentioning, there's a mechanic where you can get challenged to a one-on-one duel on the battlefield, and basically all the other troops will gather around and make like a little arena for you and the enemy officer to battle it out one-on-one. It looks awesome.
Okay, so when you said that originally, I was thinking like, holy shit, they're actually going back to the fighting game.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
because the first
that
Dynasty Warriors is a fighting game.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered launches October 31st. Free Astrobot update this fall. Something not mentioned is Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered is launching day and date on PC.
Yes, it is.
Just throwing that out there.
And also has the $10 upgrade for PC.
Yes. Monster Hunter Wilds launches February 28th.
Can't wait for that game.
Ghost of Yote. How do you say it?
Yote, I think is how it's said, but I don't know. Somebody will write in and tell us if we're pronouncing it wrong, but that's how I think it's pronounced.
2025, no timeline. That's got to be late 2025, I guess.
I would think so, yeah.
Lego
and it looks awesome.
Lego Horizon Adventures launches November 14th on everything except Xbox and PlayStation 4. So, Predator Hunting Grounds coming October 1st.
Also, I wanted to just mention on Ghost of Yote, I'm not bringing up the losers. I'm really happy because a bunch of people are like, oh, that looks good. Oh, wait, that's a series? And have started playing Ghost of Tsushima. And holy shit, like I saw a bunch of people on threads even being like, holy shit, the intro where he puts his hand down through the flowers.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, guys, you're in for a treat.
First game is so incredible. Just so incredible. I remember how back, because I reviewed it, obviously, so I was playing it weeks before it was out, and I gave it a 10, and I remember when it came out, there were some folks who gave it, I'll say, mixed scores. And I remember thinking, like, how is it possible that you and I played the same game? I'm very grateful that over the last couple of years, people seem to be reappreciating that game the way that it should have been appreciated all along, because that first game is a masterpiece.
And
what game?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Ghost of Tsushima.
And I think Sucker Punch has been the person to make me upgrade to a console each time. Because, like, I bought the television that I spoke about earlier that I use as my computer monitor. It's a 1080p 24-inch. I bought that because I was playing a PS3 on a tube television and trying to play Infamous. I bought a PS3 partially to play Infamous because I really liked Sly Cooper. So they could get me probably to buy a PS5.
Yeah, those I wish I understand why they don't, because they've got a cash cow here with Ghost, but I wish they would make a new Sly Cooper.
They could make another one of their Rocket Robot on Wheels. I don't give a shit. I'm in for the ride with them.
Yeah, I don't. They make fantastic games, so they can make whatever they want.
I'd like a new Infamous. Honestly, that'd be pretty cool too.
I did like the Infamous games for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Tekken 8 Heihachi Mishima launches October 3rd. Is it finally time for you to buy Tekken 8?
Man, listen, it's crazy too because I had installed Tekken because my son bought it because I thought Heihachi had already came out.
No.
And I went on there and he's not out yet. No. Because they want like $30 for the whole pass, but they sell the characters separately for $7.99, unlike Street Fighter. But yeah, they won.
$8 for a character is ridiculous.
It is, but I'm going to pay it because that's my guy. So yeah, I'm going to pay that.
Speaking of fighting game DLC characters, Queen Dizzy is coming to Guilty Gear Strive on October 31st.
I don't know who that is.
That's the horny. All the people like her.
That okay. Yeah.
Sorry,
I got you.
Who's coming?
Queen Dizzy.
Better put down a towel.
If it was, I just went back to the egg.
Okay.
Dizzy the egg.
Oh god, not Dizzy's Adventure. There's only like 37 of those games. What are you talking
Just wow, in a fighting game, huh? All right.
Why not? I'd fucking put Dizzy in Smash Brothers. That's my thing.
Between rounds, all the King's horses and all the King's men, put them back together again.
God damn it! All right, we're moving on. Ubisoft is like, we fucked up. Star Wars Outlaws is not very good. It's not as good as it should be.
It is not.
So they're gonna like put all hands on deck to fix it. It's also launching on Steam on November 21st. So
yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
I mean, listen,
it's not great.
I would love to say that the game is incredible. It's just not.
Yeah, it was a rough launch. So I'm sure
they remember Avatar. They need to stop. That's my point. It's like they're making too much crap again. They're doing the exact same thing they took the break from Assassin's Creed for, and I know that's coming up, but it's just like remember when they took a break and then they came back with Origins and it was amazing?
Yeah.
It's amazing what taking a break.
Avatar is good, actually.
But it's good. In a saturated market, and they're part of the reason why the market is saturated.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yes, you're correct. Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed to February 14th of 2025, which there's nothing coming out in February, right?
Yeah, as I said on the Discord, that the guys at Obsidian were like throwing beer bottles at the television when that announcement came across, because now their game is smack dab between Assassin's Creed and Monster Hunter Wilds.
They'll push back Avowed to March, I betcha.
It would not surprise me.
And Simpsons tapped out in service on January 24th. That game had been running for 12 years.
Crazy that game is still running. I remember when that came out, people were very into it.
I think that was when the movie came out. The Simpsons movie, it came out right around that time.
Oh yeah.
I'm scrolling through the rest of the news to see if there's anything big to talk about, because we are running deep again. I'll do this one just for Terrence and myself because I know we're excited, but according to Jason Schreier, Blizzard is incubating a shooter in the StarCraft universe led by Dan Hay of Far Cry fame.
Oh my god, I am so there.
Oh dude, absolutely. I will play anything in that universe.
I'm just happy to know that Blizzard hasn't forgotten about it, because I swear.
Hey, Phil had the shirt on, man.
I saw that, but I feel like freaking StarCraft is just a redheaded stepchild up in there. Like, they give them no love. Oh, but no, I'm all about it.
Well, they need a StarCraft cash cow because they got a Warcraft one, they got an Overwatch one. Like, they need a StarCraft cash. The Diablo's a cash cow.
Diablo,
now.
Yeah,
so,
yep.
Like
yeah, StarCraft is the only one. Yeah,
StarCraft needs a cash cow. So let's go. Far Cry style open world shooter with StarCraft. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I really want to play
invading Zerg bases and shit.
Yeah, you know what? It'll probably be like a twist on Ghost. I'm sure they'll try to figure out a way to kind of put some of those elements that they want to do with that in it.
What if it was an AVP situation where you could pick which campaign you wanted to play?
Oh, stop it! Oh, that's my game of the year. Stop it!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Like, what campaign do you want to run? The Zerg campaign? Do you want to run the Protoss campaign?
That would be fire. Hell yeah.
Motherfucker, you can't come at me about that game because my fucking Blizzard name is based on that fucking game. Okay?
It is. Mine is not. But I definitely got love for StarCraft. Like,
StarCraft is the bomb. What else we got? Anything big? Let's scroll through. I thought there was El Shaddai was coming to PS5. That's super awesome.
El Shaddai.
Yeah, I hope it comes to Xbox.
with Fight Crab 2.
Okay.
I saw that too. Yeah.
And if you have not watched that video, you should, because I'm even unsure what the fuck is going on.
This next news story I'm gonna give you, and you're not gonna like. You couldn't pull this out of a hat if you were a magician. There is a video game coming to Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC this October based on the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Wait, what?
I would not have anticipated that.
Me either.
I can only imagine it's going to be terrible.
What would it be?
I got a trailer if somebody wants to watch it. I can't watch it because the audio will pick up.
And let me guess, the trailer is probably set to time warp.
I would guess that's
probably.
probably fair. Yes, there it is.
The only song that people know from it?
Yep.
There was a big-ass Death Stranding presentation last night. Apparently there's a photo mode where the people dance for you.
I saw that.
That's Kojima as fuck. I'm just gonna say.
I didn't see that part, but I saw like the clip where he's talking to Hartman. It's not translated; it's all in Japanese, so I have no idea what they were saying. But I guess my man got like a suit now, so when he go to sleep, he won't like hit the ground. He like stops like in a pose, like it's like he has like a
just watch that video
whatever.
I just sent.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
That's the photo
It's,
mode. Yeah.
Speaking of watching videos, I have watched Rocky Horror Show trailer.
Yeah, I'm watching it now.
Yes.
Oh, Ken, you probably want this.
Yeah, I was just about to say, but it does indeed use a chiptune rendition of Time Warp.
Was it a 2D game or something?
It's a 2D platformer from the developers. Well, let's just say it's a game by Freak Zone Games.
Okay.
Yeah, see, look. Yeah, he in there now.
Freak Zone made the AVGN game. Yeah.
Spectacular Sparky, yeah.
Yep. They say that on here too. Yeah, the developer of that game. Yeah, I think you would like this.
Say it. It looks pretty fucking good.
It does. Yeah.
I don't know why. Must have been a cheap license to get.
Well, isn't there an Ash vs Evil Dead and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2D games coming out? Halloween. Okay.
Yeah, that's in a couple of weeks too. I thought I put that on my list, but yeah,
I already stole it.
I figured you would because it's a Way Forward joint. I know you.
No, I'm a Way Forward fanatic. Way Forward, man. Give me all that. Jason Schreier commented on both PlayStation and Xbox, like future plans. He says that Guerrilla's next game is, guess what? Horizon Online.
Yep.
And then Horizon
MMO.
Yeah, Horizon 3 may be further than people think. So we're probably talking PS6 at this point.
You know what, though? A Horizon MMO makes sense with that world and the creatures and how big they are and stuff. I mean, because Aloy out here doing this stuff solo dolo, but like imagine, having a team of people doing that. Like that could be fun.
Wise, that wouldn't make sense because the whole sort of gimmick around Horizon is that she is special because she's literally a moron.
Well, right? Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that is true, but
so you're only going to get the sort of modern day aspect of it and not the past, which is what I think Horizon does extremely well, is blend those two pieces of what's happening with the people in the world and what happened in the past. And it won't make sense to have a bunch of people futzing with the past in an MMO.
Well, I don't necessarily agree, because by the end of the second game, there are plenty more people who know what's going on.
Yeah, you have the group that you make. That's
right.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And he says Xbox basically changes their plans every year, and it's a mess. Boy, it feels like it.
What they change it to?
They change their strategy every year. Like this year we're going to focus on this, and then they're like, well, that didn't work. Let's change. So they pivot way too fast.
This year we're going to focus on buying Activision. This year we're going to focus on buying Activision. This year now we have Activision. What's our focus?
We're going to focus on not putting their games on Game Pass because we said we would.
Losers.
StarCraft going to PC Game Pass in November.
Boy, that was a layup in fucking February. I'm just saying.
Really was.
Like how it took us fucking 10 months to get 2, what are they, 20-year-old games now on the Game Pass?
And the one is free to play. Like StarCraft 2 is free to play now.
Yeah, like how, dude, Overwatch just made it into Game Pass last month.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that.
Well, you get perks. You get perks.
Okay. Yeah, because I saw you get like
you get 10% bonus XP. Well, no, I do because it's 10% bonus XP, and it gave you 6 free skins. 5 of them I did not have. So
okay, see, I figured you had them. I figured.
Well, they were pay skins.
I thought they were older.
They were pay.
Oh shit! Let me redeem that then.
So like Cardboard Reinhardt was in there, which I didn't have because he was like $20. Then fuck that.
That's dope. Okay.
They also allow you to buy skins from past seasons. It's like so one of the perks is you can spend more money. Like what the fuck are we doing?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I didn't do that. No, I'm not doing it. All right, let's do some quick tweets and then get out of here. Jeremy says, I haven't heard much about the Astrobot sales numbers. Did it sell fairly well? No, it did not.
Yeah, it does not appear to have sold super well.
Yeah. From what I hear, that game did terrible numbers. So, unfortunately.
That's sad.
He says, I'm waiting on a Black Friday sale to get it, as I have almost no time for gaming lately. Maybe an hour a week, and Baldur's Gate is my go-to, so I'll probably be into 2026 before I'm done. Yeah, Astrobot kind of flopped really hard. It makes me so sad. Shogun writes in and says, hi, so how about a remake of a remake? Anyone buying that?
Remake of a remake. What's the remake of a remake?
I don't know. I'm assuming he's referring to Horizon, but that's not a remake of a remake. That's just one remake of a patched game, I guess. But for $10, yeah, I'll do for $10.
$10 upgrade. It's
anyone pre-order the PS5 Pro? Nope. I'm not doing it, man. Like, okay, I would do it if like I traded in a bunch of shit, but like by the time I would do that, my PS4 and my original Switch probably wouldn't be worth shit. So,
right,
like it would still cost me like $400. I'm just like, nah, I don't need that. Xbox Tokyo Game Show was okay, but why did they hype it so much? I think the hype came from the fact that Mana and Final Fantasy Pixel Games came to Xbox finally. I think that's probably why.
Well, I think he was saying I think that's like why did Xbox hype? Well, no, I guess that is the answer to that. Yeah, because those were
like the Final Fantasy games were probably the biggest part of it, and finally getting those older Mana games on there was probably
would have been really nice if the Pixel remasters were in Game Pass too.
Those things just make too much money though. Like that bundle's like $80. Yeah, it's like $80 for the bundle. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you. Like I may buy the one where you could suplex the Ghost Train. What's that?
Most people are only buying like
6,
one.
Right? 6.
6 is the Ghost Train suplex. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably get 6, but that's probably it.
Yeah. No, I'm like, I'm excited they're finally there.
That is cool. They're there.
I tried the Mana games on Game Pass, and I'm like, that first one, like the oldest one, I didn't realize it was like a strategy game. I'm like, oh, no.
See, that's the one I didn't play because I think it came out on PlayStation.
Yeah, like the original PlayStation.
Or 2000,
Which one? Which one is it?
I do. Legend. You asking me the name of a Mana game? I'm like,
I know it. It's Legend.
Legend. Thank you.
Yes, Legend of Mana.
Well, technically, they're all sort of strategy games. You could just choose to play the Mana
That new one is totally not.
Well, no, I'm talking about the original.
Yeah, no, that new one is a straight up action RPG shit.
I think all the remakes are like. I would recommend not playing the original Final Fantasy Adventure and loading up either a emulator on your PC for Android, or because I don't think it's available still. But Adventures of Mana, the 3D remake in the same sort of art style, it's basically just a Zelda game at that point because it controls better. I have it on my Vita. It's fantastic.
Beaters.
Yeah, I played that. Okay.
Get your beaters. All right. That's all I got. It's been.
All I need.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad to have given you what you needed. Anyway, it's a crazy time of year. There'll be more games to talk about next week. I feel like every week there's more games that any normal person could handle. But if you want to shoot us an email, podcast@ztgd.com. We didn't have any emails this week. If you want to tweet at us, it's at ZTGD Radio on Twitter. It is Twitter. It will always be Twitter. I think, didn't Mark Cuban say he was trying to buy it? Like, sell it to him.
Is he really?
He said he would like to buy it.
Yeah.
It's because this has never been like Elon is a right winger who wanted to control the narrative. That's it. That's all this is. He says he's all about free speech, but then he banned the word cis. And it's like, Well,
I saw everybody left Twitter this week again, and I'm like, okay.
Whatever.
They've left like 37 times at this point.
I hate when people report about Elon on threads. I don't care. There's a reason why I'm not there. Like, just ignore him.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he's actually fucking with policy, and in which case do not ignore him. But until that point in time, you're just elevating what he's saying. Just ignore him. It's easy.
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, I don't see any of his shit, so I don't care.
He's a dumbass who has money because his dad had an emerald mine. His dad's a creep. His brother's a creep. And then he was born with a silver spoon and has failed upwards through everything. They kicked him out of PayPal. Do you know how bad of a person you have to be kicked out of a shitty organization?
Well, he tried to call it X.
He tried to call it X. And they're
He tried to call everything X.
Did he name one of his sons X?
Yes.
Why? Like, because he just thinks that's cool? Like, I don't...
He's from the generation where X was the cool letter.
No, he's a loser. He's a loser.
He really is.
Loser.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Anyway, sorry, not to go off on the tangent of him, but it's like all these tech bros are losers. I'm on Threads, but like Zuckerberg's a loser. They're losers. They're people who have just managed to hit the thing, I guess, and get people to follow them. But it's like, you make crap. You make shit. You don't make anybody's life better. If Threads were gone tomorrow, I'd go, all right, shame. Like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. That's it for this week. Tune in next week for maybe video games.
Who knows?
I don't. At this point,
no way to tell anymore.
Yeah, I just.
I've been updated. All video games have been canceled. Oh fuck.
Well, there it is.
I mean, you can't play them on your RCA TV anyway. I'm just talking about.
You motherfucker. This is the same television you assholes made me look behind, and I'm like, give me a second. Then I'm doing it wirelessly or whatever, and you guys are like still talking to me, and I had to come back and tell you to shut the fuck up while I was looking at the back of the television.
To be clear, I did not.
The television's 4K. I don't know, because I don't have anything that's 4K compatible, asshole. Not you, Terrence.
He is really going off about this.
Anthony,
y'all really put this man through
that's why I do
TV.
it. That's why I do it. It's fun. What are you talking about?
He just has to fiddle. He's not here, but he has to fiddle.
He bought it on. He bought it on sale at Radio Shack. So.
Oh God!
You know what? You know what I don't like about that is you're right.
Oh.
They still got Radio Shack in Canada.
No, hold on. I have to explain this. Okay, so when Radio Shack went through some problems, the Canadian, I don't remember when it was exactly, but they changed to The Source.
Wait,
terrible name.
That's
terrible name.
I didn't know that was Radio Shack. I remember seeing those.
It gets better. So The Source, like Radio Shack before it, also started to go through some hard times, right?
I wonder why.
So media conglomerate Bell, who also like has most of our phone lines set up too. You might know them from Alexander Graham Bell Laboratories. That same guy. It's named after him. Yeah. They're a piece of shit, and it's part of the oligopoly in Canada between them and Rogers. And they bought The Source to keep it alive. And I was looking for a television. And it was Black Friday, and I'm like, well, we have a bunch of no-names from Walmart, or I have RCA at The Source, and I'm like, well, unfortunately, this is the better option. It's better than... Well, the big problem with it is, and Ken pointed out, is like, they were selling 720p televisions. I'm like, what the fuck? Why would anybody want a 720p television? Like, I couldn't even get like a 32-inch, which was originally all I was looking for, to replace the one that I'm at right now. That's my computer monitor now. I was just going to get a 32-inch because it's like I was in a small bedroom. I'm like, whatever, it'll be bigger, and then I don't have to look at a small screen. All those were 720. Then they had 50 inches that were 720, and I'm like, well, for the price of this, I'll pay just a little bit more and get a 50-inch 4K. So I did.
But you bought an RCA. That's the problem.
No, the problem is you, Ken.
No, I'm not the problem.
Yes, it is.
Man.
Yes, it is.
He said you the
He's
problem.
perfectly enjoying his RCA television from Radio Shack.
No. I want to legitimately ask a question right here. No. Let me ask the question.
Imagine if we still had tube televisions. You'd be there with all the little knobs. Like, hold on, let me just get the red dialed in properly.
I want to ask a legitimate question right here on this podcast. Ryan, Terrence, would you buy an RCA television?
No, I would not.
I would not. No.
Thank you.
No, I would not.
Okay.
Thank you.
How much did you spend on your televisions?
Which one?
Exactly. You shut up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you were talking to be everybody. Okay.
Yeah, I was, but not Ken.
Oh, well, I mean,
he doesn't get a say.
The one, my main one, the 77-inch, the LG, it was, I think it was like 2,100, something like
Jesus fucking Christ!
Your question is backfiring on you, Anthony.
No, it's not. I'm not going to spend that type of money on a television.
I will.
Anthony bought the RCA because he really likes Nipper the dog.
I remember that.
I didn't know his name. The fact that you know his name fucks me up.
Right.
I know his name because of Tribe Called Quest.
And I want you to know.
I figured that would be why.
that stupid fucking dog is where the name HMV came from, which was his master's voice. That's what the dog was listening to on the stereo, is his master's voice. So HMV came from that. And then that was our CD store, and then went the way of every record shop. They've brought it back inside Toys R Us.
I'm so glad this podcast has turned into the Wikipedia of fucking RCA.
Hold on, motherfucker.
Look, you did it. You was making fun of me.
I paid like $400 for this television,
and you got what you paid for.
Hold on, and the upgrade was from a 24-inch. Trust me, I wasn't looking to spend a ton of money.
I can't. I can't
come on
with
now.
This dude. I can't.
Because
Lord.
I've told y'all about it's. I replace things as they break. I do not upgrade just for the sake of it.
I personally hope that you enjoy the hell out of your television from the Radio Company of America.
I do. I thank you.
Radio Corporation of
I'm
America.
going to watch football on a real TV with some food. That's where I'm going. I can't anymore. Anyway, that's it for us this week. I'm not even going to ask if anybody has anything else, because fuck you. It's no more. We out of here. Peace, bitches.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.